I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Become a part of the Chattanooga FC family. Season tickets are available now, offering you the best seats and exclusive perks. Enjoy priority access, special events, and much more. Whether you're a die-hard fan or new to the game, there's a place for you with CFC. Visit cfctix.com and secure your seat.
Across cities, across teams, across the country, one moment brings it all together.
Fighting for possession as it's sent to the other side of the 6, and a howitzer is buried.
The crowd rises, the stakes get higher, and under the lights, anything can happen. This is where rivals meet.
Back for it, a foot race, he's got it, and finished beautifully.
Where heroes are made, where the game comes alive.
From the spot, banged off the keeper and cleared.
This is prime time.
Touchdown!
This is the National Sports Broadcast Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this presentation of NAIA football here live on SCSN. Lorenzo Robinson here on the call for this much anticipated top 25 matchup between the 6th-ranked Blue Raiders of Lindsay Wilson and the 23rd-ranked Eagles of Reinhardt University. And if you missed last season's game, it was a real doozy. Reinhardt looking primed for an upset after a dominant first half. They were up 21-7 at one point during that second quarter. Left the first half with a 24-14 lead, but Lindsay Wilson roared back, using a near 8-minute drive to get themselves back into the ball game. From there, 21 unanswered points from the Blue Raiders, and they slowed down the Eagle offense in the second half, escaping Waleska, Georgia with a 35-27 win. Now in 2026, Parnell Family Stadium in Columbia, Kentucky will play host to one of Week 0's marquee matchups. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to you staying tuned here on SCSN. Now, there is a video broadcast provided by Lindsay Wilson that should be going live here in a few minutes. But if you're joining us here for the radio edition of this game, thank you so much, and look forward to having a phenomenal matchup here tonight.
How can you measure the value of education-based athletics? Well, the value is in what makes it invaluable. That's because school sports aren't just about winning, they're about learning and growing. School sports aren't just about gaining trophies and accolades, they're about learning life lessons, bringing a whole community together, developing character and integrity, having coaches who mentor you, and teammates who become lifelong friends. And you can't put a price on any of that. That's what makes education-based athletics invaluable. Of course, when you participate in school sports, you want to win and become a better athlete, but the purpose is so much greater, becoming a better person. Support your local school sports programs. And if you have a student, encourage them to get involved.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Everyone can help keep our roads safe. When I'm making a wide turn in my bus, I'll remember to be careful. Please give me plenty of space to finish my turn before you drive ahead. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports. This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Looking for something fun for the whole family? Chattanooga FC has you covered. Bring everyone out to Finley Stadium for a night full of energy, excitement, and so much to do. It's a place where fans of all ages can come together and be part of something special. From the first whistle to the final moment, there's always something happening. Make it a night to remember with Chattanooga FC. ChattanoogaFC.com.
Come on, Liam, let's go! Get open! Come on, go for it! Wake up! Wake up, Liam! Oh, come on, use your head! Gotta want it! Dominate!
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The moment happens fast. The replay lives here. And SBNSports.com brings you every highlight, every update, and every story that matters. From the biggest plays to the latest news, it's all right here on NSBN. Watch the top moments, catch the viral plays, stay ahead of every story. Follow at NSBN Sports across social media for highlights, clips, and real-time updates. Stay connected, stay in the game. At NSBN Sports across the web.
The action doesn't stop when the game ends. Stay connected with Chattanooga FC all season long. Follow along for highlights, behind-the-scenes moments, and exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Catch the biggest plays, the best goals, and the stories that matter most. Be part of the conversation and stay close to the club every single day. Follow Chattanooga FC on social media and never miss a moment. ChattanoogaFC.com.
Meet Keith, loving dad, board game champ, bus driving pro.
I drive 65,000 miles in my bus each year. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. Like how there are some things I simply can't see. On my route the other day, a car tried to sneak past me and
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this radio broadcast of Reinhardt and Lindsay Wilson. Had a few technical difficulties. Again, it's week 0. It's not even week 1 for everybody, folks. We're trying to figure everything out. But now we have Reinhardt driving from the right side of the field. They have a 3rd down and 6. Toss sweep to Jaden Ponder, and he gets brought down by a host of Blue Raiders. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Reinhardt Eagles at the 39-yard line. Ball on the right hash. So it's looking like the Eagles are going to punt the ball away here. It was a promising drive for Reinhardt. Started with a few short passes from Stephen Craig. One to Jaden Ponder. One to Ty Jones. Unfortunately, the Eagles not able to find anything with it. So they're going to punt the ball away from the 39-yard line. 4th down and 9. That Lindsay Wilson Blue Raider defense, not as much attention as the offense, but they had one of the best defensive units in the Mid-South last season, returning 7 starters from that unit. And off the punt this one away is Reinhardt's All-American kicker Alex Hansen. He handles kicking and punting duties for the Reinhardt Eagles. Hansen set to set this one away. It does go. A well-struck punt there from Hansen. And it takes a Reinhardt bounce. It's going to be down at the 4-yard line. So that punt down at the 4, and that is where Lindsay Wilson will begin this drive. Starting at quarterback for Lindsay Wilson is going to be Tate Rice. Tate Rice, their returning signal caller, the Mid-South Freshman of the Year last season. Put up a stellar campaign, 2,464 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. He's going to be joined in the backfield by our player to watch for Lindsay Wilson, Tay Saunders. Saunders, one of the best running backs in the country, an All-American in his own right. And Saunders gets the first carry, runs it off the left side, breaks a tackle, has a 1st down, and gets driven out of bounds. No, they're going to mark him just short of the line of game for the 1st down. Ran that one right off the left side of that offensive line. The left side of the line for the Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders, led by Larry Montgomery, a returning first-team Mid-South selection in his own right. The starting defense for the Reinhardt Eagles, it's going to be Don Juan McGee at DN, Kevon Rivers at D-tackle with Danquavius Cummings, Nathaniel Sanford at end, as a jet sweep goes for Lindsay Wilson. Man coming in motion, and Reinhardt is all over it. That tackle is going to be made by Nathaniel Sanford. So Reinhardt picking up that defensive stop. Stevenson and Poindexter at linebacker for the Eagles. Hollandquist, Jenkins, Major, Benjamin, and Wright in the defensive backfield. 3rd down and 6 for the Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders. Running from the left upright, Tate Rice trying to steady the troops. 2 receivers on each side. Rice dropping back to pass, looking for a man. He has one. Pass complete in the middle of the field. Is it enough for the 1st down? Kamari Poindexter on the stop. Refs are stopping the clock, waiting to get official confirmation, and he will have enough for the 1st down. Nice quick strike by Tate Rice to get this Lindsay Wilson offense going. Starting offensively for that Blue Raider group, Mullins at offensive line. He's going to start at right tackle. Preston Parks on the right side with him. Seekford at center. Murray and Montgomery round out the offensive line unit. Reinhardt showing blitz here. 3 receivers to the right side. Tate Rice dropping back to pass. Under pressure. Breaks a sack. Pass deep. Incomplete. Reinhardt sending some pressure Tate Rice's way. He was not able to find a comfortable drop in the pocket, and the Eagles nearly coming up with the sack. Instead, it would be an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10. Starting tight end for Lindsay Wilson, number 88, Xavier Watkins. And then at receiver, Treston Kay, Tyler Campbell, and one of their top returners, Max Gainey. Last season, Gainey was a first-team Mid-South selection. 61 receptions, 939 yards, and 7 touchdowns. And that triumvirate of Gainey, Saunders, and Rice will be much to be dealt with this season. Saunders off the left side, tall sweep. Saunders breaks a tackle. Saunders in the middle of the field, at the 40, at the 50, at the 40. Tay Saunders still on his feet. He's running and gets chased down Looks like that's going to be a tackle for the Reinhardt Eagles at around the 20-yard line by Jamari Benjamin, running Saunders down, but not before that long run, completely flipping field position in the direction of the Blue Raiders. Tay Saunders had a long touchdown run for Lindsay Wilson that essentially iced the game for them last season, and he's back up to his old tricks. Ball's going to be placed at the 16-yard line. That's where Lindsay Wilson will have first down and 10. Two receivers to the right, one to the left, tight end offset on the right side. Byron Kirkland-Lundy, the running back now in the game, runs off the right side, and he's now at the 10. Gets past the line again. Is he in the end zone? No, they're going to mark him just short. He gets brought down at the 1, driven out of bounds, but Lindsay Wilson looking primed to strike first here in this matchup of top 25 teams. Dangerous time here for the Reinhardt defense, and Lindsay Wilson officially in the red zone, the green zone, whichever way you want to call it, whichever way you want to slice it. That is where they find themselves here with an opportunity to put themselves on the board for the first time this season. And I would expect this one to be up the middle to Tay Saunders. Lindsay Wilson, they have a heavy package on the field, bringing in an extra offensive lineman. Handoff will go to Saunders up the middle. Is he in? No signal yet. Yes, he's in. Touchdown, Lindsay Wilson. Tay Saunders up the middle. His first touchdown of the year. And who else but Tay Saunders after the banner season that he put together for the Blue Raiders last year, striking first for them this season. It's the 6th-ranked Blue Raiders on top, 6-0, extra point pending. So a little swinging gate action for Lindsay Wilson, and they're going to just kick a regular extra point. Initially, it looked like they were going to go for some trickeration there. Instead, we're going to have a kick here from Jaden Burns. Burns, the kick is up, and it is good. So Lindsay Wilson strikes first. They're ahead 7-0. We're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to NAIA Football here live on SCSN.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
The moment happens fast. The replay lives here. And ESPNSports.com brings you every highlight, every update, and every story that matters. From the biggest plays to the latest news, it's all right here on NSBN. Watch the top moments, catch the viral plays, stay ahead of every story. Follow at NSBN Sports across social media for highlights, clips, and real-time updates. Stay connected, stay in the game. At NSBN Sports across the web.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up.
So returning back to the field here at Parnell Family Stadium, Lindsay Wilson ahead 6-0. We're going to have a re-kick of the extra point. It looked to be a 5-yard penalty going against the Blue Raiders. Uncertain of what the flag was. Again, everyone is trying around in the form, folks. Even the officials, they are not in mid-season form yet, not even in season form yet during this week 0 tilt. Nonetheless, Lindsay Wilson, they're going to be backed up 5 yards and a re-kick attempt here for Jaden Burns. So sophomore Jaden Burns is going to kick this one away. The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. So 2 for 2 on the year for Jaden Burns. He'll only get credit for one of them, though. Lindsay Wilson ahead 7-0 early on the 23rd ranked team in the country, the Reinhardt Eagles. And we're going to do a little bit of tail of the tape here for these two squads. Reinhardt, 23rd ranked team in the country, of course, led by head coach James Miller. Coach James Miller has been the head of the ship for the Eagles in this run of 10 consecutive conference championships. Reinhardt coming off of yet another conference championship last season. They have made the playoffs in 9 of 10 seasons under Coach James Miller. Last year, another great season for Reinhardt. 4 All-Americans on the team, a 7-4 overall record, finishing in the top 25. Their season, unfortunately for them, coming to a close with a 24-22 loss against Southeastern in the first round of the NAIA playoffs. Meanwhile, Lindsay Wilson, the number 6 ranked team in the country, 10-2 last year. They made the NAIA quarterfinal, coming up short against the eventual national champions Grand View. As we're going to have a kickoff here, Jaden Burns is going to send it away. And it is off, returning back deep for the Reinhardt Eagles, Ty Jones. No, it's going to be Kingston Allen. So Allen gets it and gets brought down at the 30. Pardon, the 25. So Kingston Allen brought down at the 25-yard line on the right hash, and that is where Reinhardt will begin this next possession. But it was a great season for the Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders, a return to the playoffs after a 2-year hiatus. 2025 Mid-South Conference champions. And they are one of the teams on that short list to win the national championship, returning 9 offensive starters and 7 defensive starters from last season's group. It's going to be quarterback Stephen Craig from Lovejoy High School, leading the show for the Reinhardt Eagles and leading the offense on the field. Man coming in motion for Reinhardt, moving from right to left. Craig, the handoff, and there are multiple flags on the field. We'll see what the call will be. Maybe a procedural penalty in this one. Waiting on official word from the white cap, and it will be a legal procedure on the Reinhardt Eagles. So not all 11 men set at the snap, and that's always the worry for these initial games. Those type of mistakes can begin to pile up on you. Usually the team that's able to come away with the victory in the first game, second game of the season is the team that just plays cleaner football. So now Reinhardt going with a split backfield, set here with the tight end offset to the right side. 2 receivers to the left. Harlem Diamond off an orbit motion. Craig throws to Diamond. Diamond near the numbers. Diamond breaks a tackle and gets brought down after a nice gain. Gain of about 9. So Harlem Diamond driven out around the 28-yard line. It's going to bring up second down, and we'll call it 6 for the Reinhardt Eagles. But everyone moving backwards. Do we have another penalty on the field? What is the official signal? We're going to get a personal foul, face mask on the offense. A debilitating penalty for this Reinhardt offensive attack. Started the game so stellar, moved the ball down the field, got into Lindsay Wilson territory, not able to come away with points, and back-to-back penalties sets this offense back deep into their own territory near the 10. So that was a 10-yard penalty, a 10-yard infraction will bring up first down and 25. And more movement on this Reinhardt offensive line. We'll see what the official call will be. The offensive linemen are saying that Lindsay Wilson was simulating the snap count. We'll wait for this first real action here, first real bout with adversity for this offensive group. It will be a false start on the Eagles, and this crowd is really starting to get to this Reinhardt offense. They're loud. They're making this a very difficult environment for them. First down and 30 coming up for the Reinhardt Eagles. Still on the right hash. Harlem Diamond joining Stephen Craig in the backfield. H-back offset to the right. Craig is going to keep it for himself and run it up the middle. He's going to be stopped immediately. Brought down by about 4 Blue Raider jerseys. Very short game for Craig there. It's going to bring up second down and 29. They're only going to give him a yard. 7-0 Lindsay Wilson ahead with about 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Trips formation for the Reinhardt Eagles, 3 to the left side, 1 to the right. Movement up front from the offensive line, 2 false start penalties and a face mask later, and the Eagles are in trouble. Second and 29, 4 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Craig is going to keep it for himself again. Breaks a tackle and now brought down. Wasn't a gain of too much from Stephen Craig. This Lindsay Wilson defense, they're flying around. Craig going for the quarterback draw, gets brought down at the 17-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 18. Deep into their own territory, not even at the 20-yard line yet after those back-to-back-to-back penalties for this Reinhardt offensive attack. Still in trips formation, 3rd down and 18 coming up. Stephen Craig will take the snap, dropping back to pass. It's going to be a screen pass, and immediately brought down by Howie Gant. Tackle by number 6, Howie Gant for Lindsay Wilson. Going to bring up 4th down for the Reinhardt Eagles, and self-inflicted wounds the story of that drive. 3 consecutive penalties put Reinhardt behind the 8 ball, way behind the 8 ball, and they just were not able to find a way around it. So 4th down and 15 coming up for the Reinhardt Eagles. Alex Hansen in the shadow of his own end zone, having to punt this one away for the Eagles. Back deep to receive is going to be Max Gainey and Byron Kirkland Lundy. So it's away from Hansen. Back deep, Gainey's going to call for the fair catch at the 37. Try to take off with it. Reinhardt saying, no, no, no. You take it where you stand at the 37-yard line on the right hash. And that is where Lindsay Wilson will begin their next drive. Lindsay Wilson, again, folks, I spoke about them being on that short list of teams vying for a national title. They feel like they're going to be right in the mix this season after the year that they were able to put together and the returning talent that they have, returning their leading passer, their leading receiver, their top 3 leading rushers, and their 6 top offensive linemen. So that's going to be a dangerous group, especially come October and November, the different ways that they can really attack and beat you. So this Lindsay Wilson offense back on the field. Tate Rice dropping back to pass, looking for a man. He has Max Gainey at the 45. Gainey cuts back outside, and he gets brought down by Namari Jenkins of the Reinhardt Eagles, but not before a big-time reception by Gainey. Max Gainey coming across the middle of the field, and that's always the danger when you deal with a player like him. Gainey so effective playing for Lindsay Wilson, mainly because, I mean, he's just the guy who you move across the formation and just find ways to get him the football. Max Gainey's going to line up out wide for Lindsay Wilson. He's going to line up in the slot at times. That's where Gainey finds himself here at the slot near the numbers. 2 receivers to the right side. Saunders joining. Gainey coming in motion. Handoff will go to Saunders. Saunders up the middle, breaks a tackle, has a 1st down and a little bit more. And this Lindsay Wilson offense is moving with ease. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. How multiple Lindsay Wilson can be, and then when they start to really get in their offensive bag, they play with nice tempo, coming right up to the field. 2 receivers to the left. Saunders remains in the backfield for Lindsay Wilson. Tate Rice takes the snap, hands it off. And that's going to be a short gain off the left side of the line. We'll say the 29-yard line is where he'll be brought down, so a nice gain of 4. The offensive coordinator for Lindsay Wilson is Jay Bright. Jay Bright, no pun intended, one of the brightest offensive minds in the NAIA, a guy who was the offensive coordinator at Bethel University at one point, so very familiar with the footprint of the Mid-South. Went to Lindsay Wilson and led that offense to one of their best offensive seasons in program history. Trips formation to the right side, man coming in motion. Tate Rice dropping back to pass, looking for a man, and he has one. Nice catch made for the 1st down. That's going to be Treston Kay, the 5'9" sophomore. Gets Lindsay Wilson into the red zone. He got brought down around that 20-yard line. And Lindsay Wilson hoping to only see green at this point of the field. Lindsay Wilson again returning so much talent from last year's group. At Kirkland Lundy made a huge play on a kickoff return for Lindsay Wilson last season in that one. Max Gainey moving from left to right in formation. Gainey with the catch outside. He gets the first down, and he's still on his feet and gets the touchdown. Touchdown, Max Gainey. Touchdown, Lindsay Wilson. The Blue Raider offensive attack absolutely flowing here in Columbia, Kentucky. Max Gainey easily catching that one across the field, worked his way from left to right, made a move, got outside the numbers, and scored the touchdown for the Blue Raiders. Extra point attempt coming up for Lindsay Wilson. The kick is up, and it is good. So 2 quick touchdowns for this Blue Raider offense, and again, a team on that short list to win a national title. They're showing you just why here. 14-0, the 6th-ranked Blue Raiders on top of the 23rd-ranked Eagles. And we'll have some early adversity here for the Reinhardt University Eagles. Reinhardt last year went into that Lindsay Wilson game with Lindsay Wilson coming to town. But that game sort of propelled Reinhardt last year for the rest of their season. They were able to sort of use that as a launching pad. They won 6 consecutive games in conference play, capped it off with 2 back-to-back dominant victories at home against both Point and Pikeville to punch their ticket to the NAIA Championship Series. Meanwhile, Lindsay Wilson deep in that Mid-South. That Reinhardt game just one of a few tough non-conference matchups. They be a national contender. A 45-10 beatdown of the then 10th-ranked Texas Wesleyan group. And then going on the road at St. Thomas, coming away with the victory in South Florida. Kingston Allen out of his end zone, running and gets driven down at the 23-yard line. So down goes Kingston Allen. 11 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Reinhardt will begin this drive, we'll say the 23-yard line. But Lindsay Wilson in that Mid-South, so many tough teams, they used that game against Reinhardt and their other non-conference games to prepare them for conference play. Lindsay Wilson finding a way to come away from the Mid-South as conference champs. Now the Reinhardt Eagles back onto the field. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. H-back flexed off. Stephen Craig is going to keep it for himself. Craig running over a defender before getting brought down at the 27-yard line. Craig not afraid to stick his nose in there as a runner, and that will end our first quarter. Lindsay Wilson, the 6th-ranked team in the country, dominant right now at home and on top against Reinhardt, 14-0.
Plan on flying? It's time to upgrade to a Real ID. Because in order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a Real ID, or you'll need another acceptable form of identification. So don't wait. Find out how to get your Real ID at tsa.gov/Real ID. That's tsa.gov/Real ID, or visit your local DMV. And then you'll be cleared for takeoff.
Hello, I'm Kevin, President of the Dementia Society of America. Request our free guide. It includes information on brain health checkups and much more. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Your brain will thank you.
How can you measure the value of education based?
Welcome back to Parnell Family Stadium. Lindsay Wilson and Reinhardt doing battle. Reinhardt currently trailing 14-0. 2nd down and 5 at the 27-yard line on the right hash. It's Harlem Diamond in the backfield alongside Stephen Craig, who had that 5-yard carry to begin this drive for the Eagles. A few self-inflicted wounds messed up Reinhardt. Craig, quick pass to the outside. Is it complete? Waiting on official word from the official. No, they're going to say incomplete, just a little bit too far to the outside. We'll bring up 3rd down and 5. And a near full group substitution defensively for Lindsay Wilson, showing off some of that depth early. Coach Phil Kleckler. Coach Kleckler, one of the best defensive minds in the country. He's the guy who really sets the tone for Lindsay Wilson on that side of the football as Reinhardt goes in an empty formation here. 5 receivers set out wide. Lindsay Wilson showing blitz. Reinhardt on the hard count. Stephen Craig. Play clock running down. Man coming in motion. Craig with the handoff. And Reinhardt will have a 1st down. Stephen Craig handing that one off. And the Eagles able to use the sort of trickery there to get themselves a 1st down. The chains will move for the Eagles. And that's always the danger with this Reinhardt group. They're very multiple in the way that they can run the football. They're not just going to line up and pound their head going straight ahead. They're a team that can do it in different ways. They're going to try to run the football with the quarterback. They're going to have jet sweeps, motion, orbit motion, men coming from right to left and left to right. And you see there the Reinhardt Eagles using some of that eye candy to their advantage. No, they're saying driven out of bounds, 4th down and 1. Reinhardt's going to punt it away. Alex Hansen. And it's away for the Reinhardt Eagles. Initially looked like he had the 1st down. Instead, they're going to say that he was marked short. Max Gainey on the fair catch. So Lindsay Wilson will get the football at around the 35-yard line on the right upright. Parnell Family Stadium is the scene here in Columbia, Kentucky. Lindsay Wilson, the 6th-ranked team in the country, right now dominating against the Reinhardt Eagles. It's been different guys. Byron Kirkland Lundy had a few rushes on that drive. Max Gainey, the star of that drive, 2 receptions, one of them going for a touchdown as Tate Rice gets ready to take the snap. Fakes the handoff. He's looking for Gainey one-on-one on the left side. Gainey incomplete. Max Gainey down the field pass broken up by number 13, Namari Jenkins. Namari Jenkins, the senior defensive back for the Reinhardt Eagles out of Evans, Georgia. Getting the stop there is going to bring up 2nd down and 10. But Lindsay Wilson, they've been showing off their depth in this game. We saw there, that was a near full group substitution by this Lindsay Wilson team, putting in a completely different defensive unit. So now it's a man coming in motion for Lindsay Wilson. Some eye candy. Saunders off the right side, breaks a tackle, and then gets brought down. Tay Saunders quickly brought to the ground after breaking 1 tackle. I had the pleasure of speaking with Coach James Miller of the Reinhardt Eagles before this game, and he just raved about Tay Saunders. His key to the game for his defense to slow that guy down is just to gang tackle him. And I mean, you can't really argue against that for his team, because how great Saunders is at beating that first defender. If you don't send more than 1, sometimes that can be your doom. 13 minutes remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Tate Rice dropping back to pass, delivering a strike to Gainey, but Gainey cannot hold on to it. Jamari Major, the free safety, laying the lick. Max Gainey not able to hold on to the football. Will bring up 4th down and 7 for Lindsay Wilson, and they're going to punt this one away to the Reinhardt Eagles. Lindsay Wilson not able to find much footing there on that offensive drive. A much needed stop for the Reinhardt Eagles. It initially appeared like Lindsay Wilson was on the verge of running away with this one, but Reinhardt coming up with a huge stop. Punt is away. Takes a bit of a Blue Raider bounce. It will continue to roll across the 20. They're fanning that football backwards, and it gets down at the 19-yard line. So at the 19 is where Reinhardt will begin their next drive. Still looking for some form of offensive rhythm after a promising first drive for the Reinhardt Eagles, where they drove all the way down to Lindsay Wilson's 39 before stalling out. So we'll see what the Eagles can do here to get themselves going. 13 minutes and 7 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Stephen Craig, the quarterback, in the backfield, joined by Isaiah Payton. So Isaiah Payton joining Craig. H-back Janosh Daniels flexed off on the right side of the offensive line. Handoff will go to Payton on the outside, but Payton is brought down to the ground, swung down. And that's a loss of 2 for the Reinhardt Eagles. Lindsay Wilson defensively, they are just absolutely flying around. That multiple style rushing attack gave Lindsay Wilson problems on defense last season, but they've been all over Reinhardt here in this one. 2nd and 12 coming up for the Eagles. 2 receivers to the right side. Now Janosh Daniels flexed off on the left side of the offensive line. Braden Bohannon came in motion, but it may be some movement up front by the Reinhardt offense. It will be another false start penalty on the Eagles. It's going to be a false start. Coach Miller is incensed. He is screaming at the official. I think he's telling the official that they're simulating the snap count. That might be the point that guys are making. We're seeing multiple players come up to the officials trying to speak to them. The officials right now having none of it. 2nd down and 17 at the 13 for the Reinhardt Eagles. Braden Bohannon coming in motion. Fake handoff to Bohannon. Craig dropping back to pass, but throws it in the dirt. He was under heavy pressure. Incomplete pass. 3rd down and 17 for the Reinhardt Eagles. 12 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. Another critical penalty going against Reinhardt on a drive where they need to find a way to just put something on the board. This Lindsay Wilson offensive attack frequently in the 40s and 50s with their scoring totals last season. You need to be able to match fire with fire. They're a group that can get hot and put up points in bunches. Right now, Reinhardt behind the 8 ball. Quick swing pass to Isaiah Payton. Isaiah Payton makes a move, but he will be brought down. He goes nowhere. A huge tackle for Lindsay Wilson and Rashad Orr. That swing pass went to Isaiah Payton. He tried to make a move, cut left, cut right, but Rashad Orr was waiting on him right in the middle for the tackle. We'll bring up 4th down and 17. Alex Hansen back up to punt it away for the Eagles. Just not a ton of rhythm offensively for the Eagles. And you say those week 1 jitters, is that a real thing? You hear that as a thing that's consistently brought about. Right now, it seems to be real. The Eagles kick off to Max Gainey. Gainey crossing the 40, makes a move, gets past the 30, and gets brought down by Jamari Major. Jamari Major bringing down Max Gainey. After a nice gain from Gainey, he gets brought down across the 30. He's down at the 28-yard line. Well into Reinhardt territory, just 8 yards away from the red zone. That is where Lindsay Wilson will begin their next drive in prime position to extend their advantage. 11 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 14-0 is your score. Lindsay Wilson on top. They haven't really needed to see Tay Saunders a whole lot. We'll see if he can get going for the Blue Raiders on this drive. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, tight end. Watkins flexed off. Larry Montgomery on the left side of that line. Rice will hand it off to Saunders. Saunders, Montgomery lead blocking. Saunders past the 20 and gets brought down near the 15-yard line. Saunders shot out of a cannon on that play. He was waiting on the pull from Montgomery. Montgomery made contact. Saunders right off his back. 1st down, Lindsay Wilson. They are in business at the 16-yard line. This Lindsay Wilson's 3rd trip into the Reinhardt red zone. We'll see if they can come away with points once more. So coming up to the line, Max Gainey now in the slot with Lindsay Wilson in a trips formation on the left side. Max Gainey The man closest to the offensive line, Tate Rice, hands it off to Saunders, and Saunders is going to get brought down to the ground. Tackle will be made by number 95, Danquavius Cummings of the Reinhardt Eagles. Danquavius Cummings, one of those players, those returning defensive stars for Reinhardt, expected to take another step. The Eagles had some young players step up for them last year. Cummings, one of them. They're hoping that he can take another step forward into superstardom for the Eagles this season. 2nd down and 9 coming up for Lindsay Wilson. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Watkins coming in motion from right to left. Quick swing pass to Saunders. Saunders driven down to the ground. The tackle made by number 13, Namari Jenkins. Namari Jenkins on the stop for this Reinhardt defense. His 2nd tackle in as many drives. Big stop from Jenkins will bring up 3rd down. Big time play, one-on-one tackle by Namari Jenkins against one of the best players in the country in Tate Saunders, who frequently makes that first man miss. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 15 on the left hash for Lindsay Wilson. Even formation here. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Tate Rice dropping back. Saunders with it. Saunders gets the dump off, but he gets brought to the ground by Kamari Poindexter, the alum of Salem High School. Kamari Poindexter, a returning 2nd team All-Appalachian Athletic Conference selection, gets the huge stop, and now we'll get a chance to see that leg of Jaden Burns go to work. He's going to go for the field goal. Lindsay Wilson wanting to go up 3 possessions on the Reinhardt Eagles here. 8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Reinhardt loading up that left side. The kick is away. It is up. Is it good? No signal yet. And it is good. Lindsay Wilson on top now, 17-0. 17-0 is your score. Lindsay Wilson came into that drive, folks, really with house money. They were in a position where you get the ball at the 28-yard line of the Reinhardt Eagles. You figure there it's just like driving a car. You just want to keep it straight, keep it in the road. You don't want to do anything too crazy. And you could tell from the play calling from offensive coordinator Jay Bright, he wasn't thinking of anything so out of the ordinary. You just want to give your team a chance to stay on top and keep the momentum. That field goal does just that. So the Eagles go from down 14 to down 17 with just around 11 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. The Eagles, they're going to need to try to find a way to put something on the board and in a hurry. Lindsay Wilson, they have all the momentum in the world at their disposal. So 8 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 17-0, 6th ranked Lindsay Wilson on top against 23rd ranked Reinhardt. Last year was another classic contest between these 2 squads. So far, it has been all Blue Raiders here at Parnell Family Stadium. So we get Jaden Burns getting ready to send this one away. Burns pointing to his left, pointing to his right, asking if his guys are ready, and it's away. Ball is kicked. Allen back deep to receive. Allen makes a move but gets brought down to the ground quickly. Cannot escape the clutches of Quadarius Leitner. Leitner, the 6'2" junior, on the special teams stop for Lindsay Wilson. Reinhardt will begin their next drive at the 20-yard line. So it wasn't much of a surprise to see Reinhardt try to go to the well of the quarterback run with Stephen Craig. Craig, 264 rushing yards in his career. He's not a guy that's going to be afraid to make something happen with his legs. And speaking of making something happen with your legs, there is a new quarterback in the game for the Reinhardt Eagles, number 17, Armar Gordon. Gordon, the transfer from Valdosta State University. He's now in at quarterback for the Eagles. Man leaving the backfield. Gordon all alone. Quarterback draw. Gordon up the middle, but he will get stuffed by this Lindsay Wilson defense. They were all over him, a gain of 2. So Stephen Craig is a guy who's ready and willing to put his body on the line as a runner. But Armar Gordon, really known for his wheels. He's a guy who's one of the best athletes on the team. Reinhardt going with him on that play. He gets a gain of 2. Stephen Craig quickly re-enters the game at quarterback. Harlem Diamond in the backfield with Craig. Under 8 minutes remaining. Man coming in motion. Craig dropping back to pass. But we're going to have another illegal procedure on the Reinhardt Eagles. That was Cam Curtis moving from right to left, but he never got set. We'll see if the referees will call that, and they will. 5-yard penalty on this Reinhardt offense. So many self-inflicted mistakes, and as the game goes on, that really begins to take a toll on your mental psyche. We can tell that it's starting to rattle Reinhardt a little bit. Things not necessarily going their way. Under 8 minutes remaining, 17-0. Eagles in the middle of the field. Curtis again coming in motion. Stephen Craig dropping back to pass. Has some time. Throws it. Is it complete? No, it is not. Tried to throw it in between a few defenders to Marquise Wilson, but Wilson not able to hold on to it. Brings up 3rd and 13 for the Reinhardt Eagles. 3rd down and 13 coming up for Reinhardt. 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this ball game. Trips formation here for the Eagles. 3 receivers flexed out to the left. 1 receiver to the right. That's Ty Jones. Diamond in the backfield with Craig. Craig drops back to pass. He's looking for Jones. Does he have him? No signal yet. Yes, he does. Ty Jones with the reception. No, they're going to say incomplete. That was a late signal from the official. It's going to be marked incomplete. Ty Jones not able to hold on to it. Brings up 4th down and 13. That was a bang-bang play. NAIA has reviewed. Surprise, Coach Miller not throwing that challenge flag for that one. Instead will be 4th down and 13. The Eagles to punt it away once more. So not a nice start to the season for this Reinhardt offense as Hansen punts it away. Gainey fair catching it at the 48-yard line. Reinhardt, they had a fast start offensively, one of the fastest starts in the entire country. They put up 35 first-half points against Florida Memorial in their opener in 2025 en route to a 49-35 victory over the Lions. So far, it has not been the same for the Eagles, being blanked at Parnell Family Stadium, 17-0. Lindsay Wilson on top. 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Tate Rice and Tay Saunders in the backfield. Xavier Watkins, the tight end, flexed off out wide. Saunders gets it. Breaks a tackle, Saunders, and he's gone. No one's going to catch him. Tay Saunders up the middle. Touchdown, Lindsay Wilson. Saunders' 2nd score of the game. That was a little inside handoff to Tay Saunders. He broke a tackle and then just went right through the heart of Reinhardt's defense. Lindsay Wilson on top. It's 23-0 Blue Raiders. Reinhardt's defense, they are struggling to find ways to slow down Tay Saunders, much like everyone else in the country. Saunders picking up right where he left off in 2025. Extra point is up and good for Lindsay Wilson. They take a 24-0 lead, and we will take a breather here. 6 minutes and 56 seconds remaining. Lindsay Wilson 24, Reinhardt nothing. You're listening to NAIA Football here live on SCSN.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Looking for something fun for the whole family? Chattanooga.
Welcome back to Parnell Family Stadium. Lindsay Wilson on top 24-0 against the Reinhardt Eagles. It has been all Blue Raiders here in Columbia, Kentucky. The Eagles struggling, trying to find somehow, some way to get themselves rolling on offense. Self-inflicted mistakes have been the story of the game. Kingston Allen back deep to receive. Wow, what a lick for Lindsay Wilson. What a tackle made there by the Blue Raiders. That was number 7, Malik Hicks on the stop. Hicks laying a lick on Kingston Rivers there. First down and 10 coming up for Reinhardt after that gargantuan stop. So at the 21-yard line is where Reinhardt will begin their next drive. And this Lindsay Wilson crowd, again, making their presence felt. 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. First and 10. One man in the backfield with Craig, and it's Jaden Ponder. Ponder takes the handoff. Quickly brought down to the ground. Gain of about 2 there for Reinhardt. Lindsay Wilson all over the Eagles. That offensive attack, that running game that's been so deadly for Reinhardt over the years, over the course of James Miller's tenure. So far, not really getting the same push that they got last year against Lindsay Wilson. That defense, they are game, and they are stepping up against the Reinhardt group that was top 5 in rushing yards per game last year in the NAIA. Ponder remains in the backfield. 2 tight ends in the game, Austin Davis and Xavier Walker for the Reinhardt Eagles. 1 on each side. Craig keeps it for himself, runs it up the middle, breaks a tackle, but then gets brought down to the ground. Lindsay Wilson defense, they are fired up, folks. Number 32, Jamarcus Frank on the stop. 3rd down and 5 coming up for Craig and the Reinhardt offense. And it looks like the Eagles are going to go with a different look at quarterback. Again, Armar Gordon enters the game. Gordon transferred from Valdosta State, initially hailing from Perry High School in Perry, Georgia. Perry, the 2023 state champions in, I believe, Class 4A down in Georgia. And a timeout here for Lindsay Wilson. So Coach Kleckler wants to have a conversation with his group. Armar Gordon provides Reinhardt with a bit of a different look at that quarterback position. Armar Gordon, during his time as a quarterback at Perry, was the region offensive player of the year, was an all-state selection as well. He spent time at Valdosta State, also spent some time at UT Martin, which is where he went straight out of high school. So Armar Gordon, a talented quarterback coming in for the Reinhardt Eagles as a transfer, and he provides another element for them. Stephen Craig used to running the football in his career, a guy who's right under 300 yards and 6 touchdowns over the course of his time as a Reinhardt Eagle. But Armar Gordon, more of that pure runner that can really put defenses in a bind. And we're seeing Reinhardt's offensive coordinator, Tyler Hennis, try to put Gordon in these situations, allow him to get his feet wet with his offensive attack, and see if he can find ways to just use all the talent at his disposal. Gordon, such a phenomenal athlete, one of the better athletes on this football team. You figure he's just the guy you got to get on the field. That's what Coach Hennis is doing for his group. 3rd down and 5 coming up for Reinhardt. 24-0, Lindsay Wilson on top. Armar Gordon all alone in the backfield, empty formation. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. So Lindsay Wilson defensively spread out as well. Gordon ready to take the snap. Snap goes to Gordon. Goes for the quarterback draw. Breaks a tackle. Still on his feet. And gets driven out of bounds right near the line of gain. Does he have the first down? Waiting on official word of the spot. Coach Miller cannot believe the spot that Gordon got there, and he lets the official have it. Gordon will be brought down short of the line to gain. 4th and 1 coming up for the Reinhardt Eagles. Now, to my naked eye, my lying eye, if you will, it looked like Gordon may have gotten just enough, but instead, officials will mark him short. 4th down and 1. We'll see if Coach Miller leaves his offense on the field with 5 minutes remaining, or if he opts to punt it away. He's on the wrong side of the 50. He's at the 30-yard line, and he's going to call Alex Hansen out to punt it. Hansen takes the snap and punts this one away for the Reinhardt Eagles. So Armar Gordon came in. Fair catch from Max Gainey at the 25, by the way. But Armar Gordon came in trying to give this Reinhardt offense a shot of adrenaline. You can see the entire sideline pointing ahead, pointing that way, as they say, saying that he got to the line to gain, past the line to gain for the first down. Instead, the official marks him just short. Coach Miller not happy about that spot. Nonetheless, we're going to see the Lindsay Wilson offense take the field once more. 24-0 Lindsay Wilson, 4 minutes and 43 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Tay Saunders back in the backfield with Tate Rice. Max Gainey in the slot. Man coming in motion is Xavier Watkins. Fake toss to Saunders. Rice looking for Gainey. Gainey has it at the 50, at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Blue Raiders. Max Gainey yet again finding pay dirt. His second score of the game. Touchdown, Max Gainey. Lindsay Wilson on top, 30-0, pending extra point. A dominant statement half from the 6th-ranked team in the country. Max Gainey's the type of player where you have to be aware of where he is at all times. Eagles caught sleeping there. The kick is up, and it is good. 31-0. All Lindsay Wilson so far. Not a great start to the year if you're Reinhardt. Eagles lost a lot from last season, last year. A team that came together again after that Lindsay Wilson game. But they're missing a ton of talent from that defense. All-American defensive lineman Emmanuel Olighton, also an all-conference selection in Damian Deloney, also on that defensive line. The defensive backfield, Braylon Jones, who will now play his college ball at Western Carolina. Markel Sutton, one of their leaders in the back line, lost to graduation. First-team all-conference selection, Carter Hicks, as well as another all-conference selection in Brighton Peters at corner. So a lot of turnover defensively for Reinhardt. They're trying to find their way. So far, things not going their way and kind of off the rails here in the second quarter. But Lindsay Wilson starting fast should have been expected for them with all the talent that they brought back. This is an Eagle group still trying to find their wings. So almost ready to kick this one away. The kick is off for Lindsay Wilson. That's a very nice kick there. It's going to be retrieved by Ty Jones. Jones making a move, loses the football. It's a fumble, and Lindsay Wilson has it. The Blue Raiders fall on top of it. Fumble there on the kickoff, and Lindsay Wilson recovers. No signal yet. There it is. Lindsay Wilson has the football. Again, all Blue Raiders. John Dragoo Jr., the 6'2" sophomore from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, on the fumble recovery. So Lindsay Wilson, after just scoring on their last drive, will begin their next drive in the Reinhardt territory at the 37-yard line. You can't ask for a faster start if you're Lindsay Wilson. Up 31-0 on one of your heated rivals. This would be one of the more lopsided games in the history of this rivalry. Coming in, both teams 3-3 against each other. Rice dropping back to pass, looking for a man. Has Gainey. Touchdown, Lindsay Wilson. Max Gainey, a first-half hat trick for the returning first-team all-conference selection. Tate Rice was dropping back to pass. In the slot was Max Gainey running a slot fader. Easily catching that one and all alone for the score. 37-0 pending extra point. Jaden Burns, the kicker, set to kick this one away for the PAT. Wow, just what a game for Lindsay Wilson and that offensive attack. I spoke about that deadly triumvirate of Saunders, Gainey, and Rice coming into this one. Well, Tate Rice, 3 touchdown passes, all of them going to Max Gainey. Tate Saunders, he has the other 2 scores on the ground. So the kick is up, and it is good for Lindsay Wilson, 38-0. 4 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. Lindsay Wilson on top, 38-0. So I know the people that put the schedule together, this was probably not what you were expecting coming into this one. 2 top 25 teams, especially 2 teams that had such a classic matchup last year, but it has been all Lindsay Wilson, and this is shades of Lindsay Wilson's dominant victory last year over Texas Wesleyan, where they were able to win 45-10 against a team that was coming in top 10 in the country. That was a statement win for Lindsay Wilson, and we're seeing more of the same here from the Blue Raiders. That 3-man group has been everything we were expecting coming in. Tate Rice now up to 156 yards passing and those 3 touchdowns. Max Gainey, he has 4 receptions, 3 of them going for scores. 149 receiving yards for Gainey. Tate Saunders, 145 rushing yards in just the first half. And this blew out for Lindsay Wilson. A lot of blue here at Parnell Family Stadium. It has been a great environment here in Columbia, Kentucky. Kingston Rivers with it. Up the middle, gets brought down around the 37, 38-yard line, we'll say. That is where Reinhardt will begin their next drive. Down 38-0 against the Blue Raiders. And the sobering reality for a lot of these teams is, even if you are able to come away with a dominant Week 1 victory, in this case Week 0 for Lindsay Wilson, it's only Week 1. It's only the first week. You can't take it with you for the rest of your time. If you do it one time, you got to do it again. That's the message for the Blue Raiders. But this game is not yet over. Reinhardt, they have the talent at their disposal to score points in bunches in their own right. We'll just see if they're able to make something happen here. 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. Harlem Diamond and Stephen Craig in the backfield. Craig drops back to pass, and that pass nearly intercepted by Howie Gant. He's jumping up and down. He can't believe he didn't catch that one. That was almost an interception by Howie Gant. Luckily for the Eagles, it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Great job by Lindsay Wilson to put that early pressure on Reinhardt, because now you force Reinhardt to go through the air. You dictate the game to them. As Craig drops back to pass again. Craig, middle of the field, finds a receiver. That receiver breaks a tackle before getting brought down to the ground. That was Cam Curtis on the reception. Across the 50-yard line to the 49. So the Eagles will have it. Under 4 minutes remaining in Lindsay Wilson territory, just narrowly. Diamond and Craig remain in the backfield, balanced formation. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right for Reinhardt. And Stephen Craig pointing out some blitzers. Lindsay Wilson showing some heat. Those linebackers are showing, but will they be going? Craig drops back to pass, breaks a sack attempt, but can't break another one. The pressure gets there, and it's Troy Churchill on the sack. Churchill, 2nd team All-Mid-South last season, finished with 4.5 sacks, but that one, his first of 2026. Churchill on the stop, just coming up on 3 minutes remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Parnell Family Stadium is rocking. Reinhardt, 2nd down and 13. Once again, Lindsay Wilson showing blitz. Low snap. Throws it to Harlem Diamond. He's outside of the numbers. Diamond slipping and falling just across the 50. Back to the original spot of the ball on this drive at the 49. So Reinhardt will have it on the left hash. 3rd down and 10 at the 49-yard line, courtesy of that little quick strike from Craig to Diamond. 3rd and 10 coming up. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this second quarter. 3 receivers. Trip set to the right side of the field. 1 receiver on the left for the Eagles. Once again, Lindsay Wilson showing blitz, and they bring it. Stephen Craig's under pressure. He's running left past the 50 and runs out of bounds around the 45. Refs will say the 43. So Craig gaining about 6 or 7 yards there and will bring up 4th down and 4 for the Eagles. Offense staying on the field for Reinhardt. We'll see if Coach Miller decides to go with it. But that brings us to the 2-minute warning. He'll have a little bit more time to think about it. So this can be a turning point play, a swing play here, if you will, for Reinhardt. Lindsay Wilson, they have been dominant in this game. It's 38-0. Blue Raiders on top. But if the Eagles can somehow find a way to pick up some momentum and score on this drive, that you'll really give yourself a chance to feel better about things going into the half. It's much different when you're able to get something on the board. You'll see some of that belief return for the Eagles, and then you just play football from there. We saw it last year in that first week matchup of Reinhardt and Florida Memorial. Reinhardt went out on top 35-6 pretty quickly. It was a dominant start to the game for the Eagles. Florida Memorial, they battled all the way back. It was 42-35 with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The Eagles scored one more touchdown to ice it and come away with a 49-35 victory. Also, Reinhardt had a fast start against Lindsay Wilson last year. We saw the Blue Raiders come back and win that ball game. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility. We'll see what happens. Reinhardt offense back on the field. Even formation. 2 receivers left. 2 right. Diamond in the backfield with Stephen Craig, the quarterback. Lindsay Wilson showing pressure with 7 men at the line of scrimmage. 4th down and 4 for the Eagles. Stephen Craig dropping back to pass. Under pressure. Delivers it. Incomplete. Incomplete pass by Craig intended for Cam Curtis in the middle of the field. Turnover on downs at the 43-yard line is where Reinhardt's drive will come to a close. 1 minute and 56 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Lindsay Wilson a chance to add even more gasoline to the fire that has been lit here at Parnell Family Stadium. The dominance from Lindsay Wilson, typical of what we've seen from them over the course of these last few years. They're a group that feels like they're primed to win it all. Saunders gets the handoff. Saunders on the left side. Saunders is in the open field. Breaks a tackle. Finally driven out of bounds at the 40-yard line. My goodness, Tay Saunders, they leave him in the game. Before long, he'll be coming up on 300 rushing yards. Some projection there done on my part. Tay Saunders, though, yes, a great game from him. Lindsay Wilson, nice and easy. They're at the 40-yard line on the left hash in Reinhardt territory. Not in much of a rush are the Blue Raiders. Saunders up to 162 rushing yards on the day. Man comes in motion from left to right for Lindsay Wilson. Tate Rice dropping back to pass. Looking. Runs to his right. Still rolling. Soft lofts one up. And it's caught by the tight end, Coben Calhoun. Calhoun, the 6'2" junior, on the reception. Tate Rice just nice and easy. Ran to his right. Kept rolling. Scramble drill. Calhoun gets the reception at the 24-yard line. And Lindsay Wilson's offense back up to the ball. No rest for the weary. Rice and Saunders in the backfield. Rice again dropping back to pass. Looking deep down the field. Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 3, Tyler Campbell. Namari Jenkins on the pass breakup, his second of the game. Been a nice game thus far for Namari Jenkins. He has a pair of tackles, 2 pass breakups as well. Jenkins, the alum of Evans High School, having a nice matchup so far. 2 receivers to the left, tight end flexed off as well. 1 receiver on the right, Saunders in the backfield. Tate Rice will drop back to pass, screen pass to Saunders, but he leaves it behind. No official whistle yet. Was it a fumble? Late whistle. They'll say it's incomplete. Lindsay Wilson trying to go with the screen pass to Saunders. Saunders very capable of turning those into scores. Instead, it goes incomplete. We'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Blue Raiders. 3rd and 10 coming up for Lindsay Wilson. 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining here in the first half. Tate Rice, delayed handoff to Saunders. Saunders on the left side. Saunders is in the open field. First down, Tay Saunders before getting brought down at the 11-yard line. I'm always so impressed with the patience that Tay Saunders has running that football for Lindsay Wilson. He almost comes to a complete standstill behind that offensive line, allows those big boys to get rolling downhill, and this veteran offensive line group really flexing its muscle here in week 0. Tate Rice dropping back to pass, looking, has a man. It's Max Gainey. Gainey breaks a tackle. Gainey stretching out for it, doesn't get the touchdown. Darius Jordan there on the stop. Gainey brought down at the 2-yard line. And we'll have a timeout from Coach Phil Kleckler. 29 seconds remaining. Lindsay Wilson at the 2. It's 38-0. All Blue Raiders, and a chance to put up even more points on the board. Just a dominant showing so far. It's been a tale of 2 teams offensively. Reinhardt's leading receiver at 14 receiving yards. That's Jaden Ponder, 14 yards on 3 receptions. Meanwhile, Max Gainey, 158 yards on 5 receptions. Dominant performance from Gainey. And then on the ground, Reinhardt's leading rusher is Stephen Craig, their quarterback, 28 yards rushing. Meanwhile, Tay Saunders, he's now up to 177 rushing yards. There are many ways that you can slice it, but it has just been complete dominance here in Columbia, Kentucky. Lindsay Wilson, they were undefeated at home this past year. Their 1 regular season loss came on the road in a rivalry matchup against Campbellsville University, a Campbellsville team that also made an appearance in the NAIA Championship Series. They were led by head coach Jake Russell, who now finds himself at Southeastern. So a nice little bit of information there and some foreshadowing. Reinhardt will play against Southeastern for the 4th consecutive season in a few weeks at home in their home opener. 2nd down and 1. Saunders with it. Saunders breaks a tackle. Saunders bounces it out, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Lindsay Wilson. Tay Saunders, his 3rd score of the day. Complete domination here from the Blue Raid. Lindsay Wilson, the 6th-ranked team in the country, looking every bit of the national contender that they have been pegged to be. 44-0. Lindsay Wilson all over Reinhardt. Extra point forthcoming. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good for Lindsay Wilson. 45-0 is your score. Lindsay Wilson dominating against the Reinhardt Eagles. Just not the game that you would want to see if you're a fan of Reinhardt. If you're Lindsay Wilson, you're saying, yes, please, give me more of this. 23 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Just complete domination from Lindsay Wilson. That first drive for Reinhardt was so promising. Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we were not able to bring that to you here on our radio broadcast on SCSN. But on that drive, Reinhardt mixing in the run and the pass, a few quick passes from Stephen Craig, one to Jaden Ponder, another one to Ty Jones. Those plays getting Reinhardt down into Lindsay Wilson territory across the 40 to the 39. But their drive stalled out from there. And Lindsay Wilson, they got the ball rolling on offense from that drive on. They've only punted the ball away once. 45 points on the board for the Blue Raiders here in the first half. In this modern era of college football, that's so difficult to do with the way that the clock continues to move now on first downs outside of 2 minutes. Got to give a lot of credit to this offensive attack of Lindsay Wilson for being able to do what they were able to do. So this kick coming away from Burns. And it goes. Reinhardt just trying to find something, anything. Brought down to the ground at the 28-yard line. And that is where Reinhardt will begin their next drive. 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. 45-0 as we have a flag here on Lindsay Wilson awaiting official word. So we'll have sideline warning on the Blue Raiders. We'll see if they take any yards from them on this. Right now playing some hot potato with the football. The official's going to go ahead and mark off the yardage. So that sideline warning, apparently an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Lindsay Wilson sideline. So that helps Reinhardt's cause a little bit. They get the ball at the 44-yard line. 45-0. Lindsay Wilson dominant so far. 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Stephen Craig in the backfield. He's going to just hand this one off. That's Isaiah Payton up the middle. He gets brought down after a gain of 4. We'll see if Reinhardt will run another play or if they will take the medicine and take it inside for halftime. That is just what the Eagles will do. That will be the end of our first half. Again, thank you all for joining us for this special radio broadcast here on SCSN. And the 6th-ranked Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders dominant so far against the Reinhardt Eagles. It's 45-0. Lindsay Wilson, thank you again so much for listening to NAIA football here live on SCSN.
How can you measure the value of education-based athletics? Well, the value is in what makes it invaluable. That's because school sports aren't just about winning, they're about learning and growing. School sports aren't just about gaining trophies and accolades, they're about learning life lessons, bringing a whole community together, developing character and integrity, having coaches who mentor you, and teammates who become lifelong friends. And you can't put a price on any of that. That's what makes education-based athletics invaluable. Of course, when you participate in school sports, you want to win and become a better athlete, but the purpose is so much greater, becoming a better person. Support your local school sports programs. And if you have a student, encourage them to get involved.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Everyone can help keep our roads safe. When I'm making a wide turn in my bus, I'll remember to be careful. Please give me plenty of space to finish my turn before you drive ahead. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager, victim to fake pills bought from social media. This doesn't seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. So listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Looking for something fun for the whole family? Chattanooga FC has you covered. Bring everyone out to Finley Stadium for a night full of energy, excitement, and so much to do. It's a place where fans of all ages can come together and be part of something special. From the first whistle to the final moment, there's always something happening. Make it a night to remember with Chattanooga FC. ChattanoogaFC.com.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The moment happens fast. The replay lives here. And SBNSports.com brings you every highlight, every update, and every story that matters. From the biggest plays to the latest news, it's all right here on NSBN. Watch the top moments, catch the viral plays, stay ahead of every story. Follow at NSBN Sports across social media for highlights, clips, and real-time updates. Stay connected, stay in the game. At NSBN Sports across the web.
The action doesn't stop when the game ends. Stay connected with Chattanooga FC all season long. Follow along for highlights, behind-the-scenes moments, and exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Catch the biggest plays, the best goals, and the stories that matter most. Be part of the conversation and stay close to the club every single day. Follow Chattanooga FC on social media and never miss a moment. ChattanoogaFC.com.
Meet Keith, loving dad, board game champ, bus driving pro.
I drive 65,000 miles in my bus each year. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. Like how there are some things I simply can't see. On my route the other day, a car tried to sneak past me and ends up right in my blind spot. I turned slowly, so accident avoided. But no car should be in the blind spot for a 40,000-pound bus.
It's our roads. It's our safety.
Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Rep your club, rep your city. Chattanooga FC gear is the perfect way to show your pride every day. From t-shirts and hats to scarves and more, there's something for every fan. Whether you're at the match or out around town, you can wear the badge with pride. Stand out in the crowd and be part of the movement that makes this club special. Gear up today and take Chattanooga FC with you wherever you go. Shop now and represent Chattanooga FC. ChattanoogaFC.com.
When I started school sports, I didn't know who I wanted to be. I just wanted to play.
But looking back, I developed character, resilience, and integrity. And now I'm settled in a career. I'm a leader to my own kids and my community. I know who I am and where I belong, and it started with school sports. I found my place. Find yours.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Everyone can help keep our roads safe. When I'm driving my truck, I'll remember to check my mirrors for smaller vehicles. And when you're on the road, try to avoid lingering in my blind spots. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Become a part of the Chattanooga FC family. Season tickets are available now, offering you the best seats and exclusive perks. Enjoy priority access, special events, and much more. Whether you're a die-hard fan or new to the game, there's a place for you with CFC. Visit cfctix.com and secure your season tickets today. Together, we're unstoppable. And together, we make every game an event to remember. Chattanooga FC, where loyalty meets passion.
Across cities, across teams, across the country, one moment brings it all together.
Fighting for possession as it's sent to the other side of the six, and a howitzer is buried.
The crowd rises, the stakes get higher, and under the lights, anything can happen. This is where rivals meet.
Back for it, a foot race, he's got it, and finished beautifully.
Where heroes are made, where the game comes alive.
From the spot, banged off the keeper and cleared.
This is prime time.
Touchdown!
This is the National Sports Broadcast Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this matchup of Lindsay Wilson and Reinhardt. The 6th-ranked the 6th-ranked Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders. A dominant performance against the 23rd-ranked Reinhardt Eagles. It's 45-0. Lindsay Wilson currently on top. It has been a banner offensive game so far for them. Tate Rice, 11 for 16 through the air, 181 yards and 3 scores. All 3 of those scores going to number 5, Max Gainey. Max Gainey, 5 receptions, 158 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But they're not just getting it done through the air, they're getting it done on the ground as well. Tay Saunders, 10 attempts, 177 yards, almost 18 yards per game, and 3 scores from him as well. His longest carry going for 69 yards. Meanwhile, the Reinhardt Eagles trying to find their footing offensively. Stephen Craig, the quarterback, 7 of 13 through the air, 42 yards. He's been sacked 1 time as well. Hasn't been much going for the Eagles on the ground either. Stephen Craig, 8 attempts for 31 yards. Jaden Ponder, 4 attempts for 12 yards. No one else has crossed that 10-yard threshold. Receiving, Jaden Ponder, 3 receptions for 14 yards. He is their leading guy through the air. Cam Curtis has a 13-yard reception as well. Reinhardt Eagles trying to find their footing. Lindsay Wilson on top. It's 45-0, all Blue Raiders.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
The moment happens fast. The replay lives here. And ESPNSports.com brings you every highlight, every update, and every story that matters. From the biggest plays to the latest news, it's all right here on NSBN. Watch the top moments, catch the viral plays, stay ahead of every story. Follow at NSBN Sports across social media for highlights, clips, and real-time updates. Stay connected, stay in the game. At NSBN Sports across the web.
Come on, Liam, let's go! Get open! Come on, go for it! Wake up! Wake up, Liam! Oh, come on, use your head! Gotta want it! Dominate!
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Become a part of the Chattanooga FC family. Season tickets are available now, offering you the best seats and exclusive perks. Enjoy priority access, special events, and much more. Whether you're a die-hard fan or new to the game, there's a place for you with CFC. Visit cfctix.com and secure your season tickets today. Together, we're unstoppable. And together, we make every game an event to remember. Chattanooga FC, where loyalty meets passion.
Everyone can help keep our roads safe. When I'm making a wide turn in my bus, I'll remember to be careful. Please give me plenty of space to finish my turn before you drive ahead. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Meet Keith, loving dad, board game champ, bus driving pro.
I drive 65,000 miles in my bus each year. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. Like how there are some things I simply can't see. On my route the other day, a car tried to sneak past me and ends up right in my blind spot. I turned slowly, so accident avoided. But no car should be in the blind spot for a 40,000-pound bus.
It's our roads. It's our safety.
Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Across cities.
Welcome back to Parnell Family Stadium. Almost set to begin this second half top 25 matchup. Lindsay Wilson and Reinhardt. Lindsay Wilson, a dominant performance thus far, 45-0. Right around 4 minutes away from kicking things back off here in the second half. All Lindsay Wilson. Looking ahead for the Reinhardt Eagles, it's going to be no rest for them coming up. Their next game at Newberry College. Newberry, number 15 in the Division II top 25. So that's going to be a real test for this young Reinhardt group. And then after that, their home opener against the Fire of Southeastern. Now, that's become a bit of a rivalry in these recent seasons. Reinhardt and Southeastern, they're going to be playing against each other for the fourth consecutive year. Southeastern, they've come out on top in each one of those contests, but every game always seems to have its fair share of fireworks. So we'll see if Lindsay Wilson, if Reinhardt can find a way to come away with that victory. The Eagles finish off non-conference play at Florida Memorial in South Florida. Betty T. Ferguson Stadium will be the backdrop for that one. And then another home matchup against the Eagles of Faulkner University. Reinhardt and Faulkner, some old familiar foes as well. So the Eagles getting their fair share of rivalries in non-conference play. Meanwhile, Lindsay Wilson coming up, one of the more difficult slates in the country. They'll host Ave Maria next Saturday. Then they'll go on the road at the University of Rio Grande in Ohio. Then they'll go back on the road, this time in the opposite direction in South Florida against the Bobcats of St. Thomas. St. Thomas in the preseason top 25 ranked 16th. That matchup taking place at AutoNation Field in Miami Gardens, Florida. That's going to be a ton of fun. And then they finish off non-conference play on the road at Union Commonwealth in Kentucky. But I'm going to extend Lindsay Wilson's preview here to include their first conference matchup of the season, which will be a much anticipated home contest against Campbellsville University, one of Lindsay Wilson's fiercest rivals, probably their fiercest rival. The two schools just 20 minutes away from each other. Campbellsville beat Lindsay Wilson last season. They defeated the Blue Raiders. They were Lindsay Wilson's only loss in non-conference play last year. So we'll see if Lindsay Wilson can avenge that one in their first Mid-South Conference tilt. It's going to be a difficult slate regardless for the Blue Raiders. Altogether, they're facing 6 teams that were either top 25 or receiving votes. The 2 teams receiving votes, Mid-South foes at Cumberland and at home against Bethel. So just such a difficult schedule for Lindsay Wilson. But last year's schedule was difficult as well. Blue Raiders handled that one with relative ease. They figure, again, to be one of the best teams in the country. We've seen that here today. Lindsay Wilson, just such a dominant performance overall. And you expect that, right? With a team, especially on offense, bringing back 9 guys. The 2 guys that they did not bring back, Kaya Sherrard, a wideout, someone who came in for them. It was their second leading receiver, along with Max Gainey, providing that formidable 1-2 punch. And then Seth Phillips, their tight end, one of their offensive leaders, a second-team All-Mid-South Conference selection. Defensively, so much talent returning as well. 7 guys returning from their defense. Just critical players like Troy Churchill, who's an all-conference selection, a returning all-conference guy. Jamarcus Frank at linebacker as well. Howie Gant made one of the critical turning point plays of the game last year for Lindsay Wilson, running down Jai Colbert to stop him just short of a touchdown going into the halftime break, holding Reinhardt to 3 instead of 7, and really sort of flipping momentum in the direction of the Blue Raiders. All that talent that Lindsay Wilson is bringing back, and you're seeing it really just flourish here in this matchup. So we're going to take one more quick break, and when we return, we will have second half action here live on SCSN.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National.
Welcome back to Parnell Family Stadium here in Columbia, Kentucky. Lindsay Wilson on top, 45-0 against the Reinhardt Eagles. Parnell Family Stadium was absolutely rocking in the first half. The second half, we might see a much more subdued crowd. We'll see if they can carry that energy. I expect them to carry that energy here into the second half. The home opener for Lindsay Wilson and a dominant showing thus far. Alex Hansen set to kick this one away, and it is away. Back deep to receive is Max Gainey. Gainey running out of his end zone. He's going to get thrown down to the ground. The tackle made for the Reinhardt Eagles. That's Chris Reed. Chris Reed on the stop for Reinhardt, just away from the 20-yard line. So Lindsay Wilson will begin this drive at the 19. Chris Reed, the linebacker from Douglas, Georgia, formerly of Coffee County High School. Coffee County had a dominant performance in their own right in the Corky Kell Classic just a few weeks ago. They took on Parkview High School there at Center Park Stadium, where the old Turner Field used to be. So Coffee County's own Chris Reed on the stop. First down and 10 coming up for Lindsay Wilson. Saunders in the backfield with Byron Kirkland Lundy. Kirkland Lundy gets it, breaks a tackle, scoots and boots, makes a move, spins, and gets brought down to the ground right near that line of the game. We'll see what the official call will be. Still waiting on it. That was a nice run from Kirkland Lundy. How many teams have that three-headed monster at running back? As they'll say, Kirkland Lundy has the first down. We know all about Saunders, the returning All-American, but Stephen Mack and Byron Kirkland Lundy, they have a case to be the best 2 and 3 backs in the country in their own right. Guys at that spot in the depth chart, they can go anywhere in the country really and start or be a formidable piece to the puzzle. Toss going, it's faked. It's now Pryor Lamb in at quarterback, and he throws it deep. It's complete down the field. That's going to be another easy score for Lindsay Wilson. Number 7, Malik Hicks, the 6'1" sophomore, his first touchdown of the season. Backup quarterback Pryor Lamb coming in for Tate Rice. Backup receiver Malik Hicks finding pay dirt. It's all Blue Raiders, folks. 51-0. As we'll get Jaden Burns to kick this one for the extra point. Things going from bad to worse for this Reinhardt defense. Kick is up, and it is good for Lindsay Wilson. 52-0 is your score. 6th-ranked team in the country, the Blue Raiders, on top of number 23, Reinhardt University. So Reinhardt and Lindsay Wilson, they're going to go back to their respective sidelines. We're going to keep it in here because that quarterback change, I wasn't quite prepared for it. I will say that. I come from kind of that old school of where you let your starters play that at least first or second drive of the second half, see if you can get something going with them before taking them out. Lindsay Wilson probably feeling like we're going to make Reinhardt force us to put our starters back in the ball game. Pryor Lamb, an interesting note about him, he started the season as the starting quarterback last year. He won that initial contest with Tate Rice. The initial plan was to sort of roll those guys in. Pryor Lamb got the start against Texas Wesleyan. He gets injured. Tate Rice steps in and has one of the best seasons in program history for Lindsay Wilson. Tate Rice was really able to use that as a springboard into him solidifying his starting job here this season. So Pryor Lamb, nice story there. He comes in and delivers an easy touchdown to Malik Hicks, 71 yards to the promised land. 52-0 is your score. 13 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This kick is away, and it's going to be taken out by Kingston Rivers. Rivers looking for some room. Rivers front, driving out Rivers out of bounds. So this Reinhardt offense will step up and try to put something on the board. Stephen Craig leading the group out there. 3 receivers to the right side. Harlem Diamond joining Craig in the backfield. 1 receiver to the left. Expect Reinhardt to try to go through the air much more here in the second half as they're looking to get themselves back in the ball game. It's faked. The throw outside is complete. Makes a man miss. Still on his feet is Xavier Brantley. Xavier Brantley was Reinhardt's leading receiver last season. Big time returning piece for this Eagle offense. Brantley back on the right side of the field, joined by Bohannon and Cameron Curtis. All alone on the left side is Ty Jones. Craig's getting ready, but it will be East Wilson in at receiver for the Reinhardt Eagles. Reinhardt offense starting to move now. Stephen Craig, a few nice quick passes with some zip on them. Eagles moving the chains. Lindsay Wilson showing blitz. Even formation. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Stephen Craig, take Curtis. So the only real, if you want to say pitfall, you can say pitfall. You can say weakness if you want to. But the only thing that you could say about Reinhardt offensively was they were not a team that was very comfortable when trailing, having to go through the air. They really like to dictate the game by using their ground game. As we see Troy Churchill jumping off sides here. He's going to get called for that one. Waiting on official signal. He jumped first. Right tackle Jaden Calhoun pointed at Troy Churchill immediately. So we'll mark off 5 there. But Reinhardt, they were not very comfortable through the air when it comes to trying to get themselves back in the games when trailing. Taylor Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in program history, he made his plays through the air most definitely, but this was a team that was much better when dictating the pace and mixing in run and pass, using the run to set up the pass rather than a group that wants to be behind big like they are now and having to almost exclusively find their offense through the air. So the score is 52-0, Lindsay Wilson. 12 minutes and 33 seconds remaining, and we have another penalty. It's going to be another offsides on Lindsay Wilson. That's going to move the ball forward 5 more. And Reinhardt will have a first down. Ball on the right hash. Empty formation now. Stephen Craig all alone in the backfield. 5 receivers split out wide. Showing blitz is Lindsay Wilson's outside backer to the right side. Fake handoff. Craig keeps it for himself. Craig makes a man miss. Craig runs over a defender, then gets brought down. He gets across the 50 into Lindsay Wilson territory at the 47-yard line. Stephen Craig's been pretty effective running the football here in this ball game. He's now crossed that 300-yard threshold for his career. Brings up second down in 3. Diamond now lined up behind Craig. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. And now Diamond will leave his post from behind Craig to Craig's left side. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. Low snap, but Craig receives it, gives it to Diamond, but Diamond is brought down after a minuscule gain, maybe a gain of a foot. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for the Reinhardt Eagles. Eagles coming in with a heavy package here. We'll see 3 tight ends enter the fray. Xavier Walker, Austin Davis coming in, that dynamic duo at tight end for them. Also a 3rd tight end, David Turner, the tight end from Camden County. Walker hailing from Fitzgerald High School. Austin Davis from Dalton High School. Heavy formation here. Harlem Diamond now in at quarterback, but a timeout as Diamond did not like what he was able to see. Eagles went heavy. Diamond was furious with his group calling timeout. So both teams will go to the sideline. 3rd down and 2. 52-0 is your score. Just complete domination here from Lindsay Wilson, folks. 11 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. If you're Reinhardt, you're playing to build some type of confidence moving forward, build some type of momentum, and you're going to need all the momentum, all the confidence that you can really muster going into your game next week. Next week will be a night game on the road against Newberry College. Newberry, number 15 rather in the country, one of the very best Division II programs in the nation. That's going to be a stiff test for Reinhardt. Coach Miller not ever shy when it comes to scheduling these tough non-conference opponents. I mean, Reinhardt starting the season, number 6, Lindsay Wilson, number 15 in D2, Newberry, and then number 15 in NAIA in Southeastern. That game, their home opener. So offense back on the field. Harlem Diamond behind Stephen Craig. 3rd down and 2 coming up. Hard count by Craig. Now Diamond moves from behind to beside Craig. Both tight ends still on the field. Davis on the left. Walker on the right. Man coming in motion. Handoff is fake. Stephen Craig up the gut. And he gets the first down across the line to gain. So the Eagles still running their offense. Not really trying to rush and come up with anything too fancy. They're playing their game. You got to give a lot of respect to Reinhardt there. Like I said, you just want to try to gain some confidence. At this point, you're playing the game, not playing the score. I know that could be cliche, but it's real because there's so much season left to play. You can build upon this game. You can take something from this second half and use it. We'll see what the Eagles do. Hand off to Harlem Diamond. Diamond cuts back inside, but is joined by a blue wall of defenders. Lindsay Wilson all over Harlem Diamond there. Jared Suter, the 6-foot sophomore defensive lineman, first to Harlem Diamond. 2nd down and 8 coming up for Reinhardt. Will now be 2 running backs in the ball game. Amir Williams from Burke County. Also Isaiah Payton in the backfield. Amir Williams comes in motion. Now he moves as the up back on the right side. Handoff will go. That's Jaden Ponder, who was also in the game. Ponder up the middle, gets brought down after a nice gain, around 4 or 5 there for Jaden Ponder. Brings up 3rd and manageable for the Eagles on the right hash. 3rd down coming up for Reinhardt. We're going to call it 3rd and 4. It's now Jaden Ponder as the man in the backfield for Reinhardt. 2 receivers to the left. Xavier Walker, the tight end, lined up as the up back on the left side. Stephen Craig faking the toss, dropping back to pass, looking for a man, and it's incomplete. Incomplete pass by Stephen Craig. He was under immediate pressure. Troy Churchill first to get into that backfield, and then from there, it was just a wild goose chase. Taden Russell, Esley Cornelius also providing the pressure. Heating up this Reinhardt group. 4th down and 4 coming up for Reinhardt, trying to find a way to keep this drive alive. 8 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 2 tight ends set, Walker and Davis both on the right side of the line. Walker as the up back. Hard count. Craig rolling left. Throws it. Almost intercepted. Instead, it will be an incomplete. And 44 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Nothing going Reinhardt's way here tonight as we have nightfall here at Parnell Family Stadium. An absolute beautiful backdrop. And it has been a beautiful game if you're a fan of Lindsay Wilson. A nightmarish one if you are here cheering on the Eagles. 8 minutes and 44 seconds remaining. Pryor Lamb back into the ball game for Lindsay Wilson. 2 receivers to the right, 1 tight end on the right side. Lamb is going to hand this one off to Byron Kirkland Lundy, who breaks a tackle. Kirkland Lundy gets back inside. Kirkland Lundy brought down at the 44-yard line. Byron Kirkland Lundy, part of that deep and dominant backfield of Lindsay Wilson. A gain of 8 from Byron Kirkland Lundy. And this will be a chance for him to get some real extended burn here at running back after Tate Saunders came in and handled business early. We get a chance to see Kirkland Lundy here in the second half. 8 minutes remaining. Pryor Lamb hands it off again to Kirkland Lundy. Lundy has the first down, has a little bit more. Right at the 50-yard line, he will be brought down. do some things to build. Reinhardt's defense needing some momentum as well. This is not a situation where you can't take it with you. You can take this momentum with you into another game, but you need to start building those habits now. Pressure on Lamb. The ball is tipped and knocked away at the line of scrimmage by Nathaniel Sanford. Delayed blitz there from the Reinhardt Eagles. They ended up sending 6 guys. That pressure just a little bit too much in the face of Pryor Lamb. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Second and 10, Kirkland Lundy will remain in the game for Lindsay Wilson. Tyler Campbell, the receiver, all alone on the left side. Lamb tossed to Kirkland Lundy outside on the right side. Kirkland Lundy behind the lead blocker falls forward after a gain of about 7 or 8. 3rd down and 2 coming up for Lindsay Wilson. Another offensive lineman coming in for Lindsay Wilson. Seems like they're going to go with a heavy formation here, and they're trying to take the air out of the football. But the thing about it, when you have such a veteran-laden offensive line group like they do, those runs can break for big ones, and athletes like Kirkland Lundy can take advantage. 3rd and 2 coming up. Eagles with 5 men on the line of scrimmage. Kirkland Lundy up the middle, and he's going to get brought down right near that line again. We'll see what the signal will be. He'll be short. Vashawn Moody and Julian Stevenson there on the stop for the Reinhardt Eagles, combining for that tackle. And we're going to have the trainer on the field tending to Kirkland Lundy. So the clock didn't initially stop. Didn't seem to be an injury timeout, but the injury timeout will be taken, or rather Lindsay Wilson will just lose one as a team. 4th down and 1 coming up, and a change at running back forced after Kirkland Lundy goes to the bench. Donovan Holloway, the junior, coming into the game. So Donald Holloway now in at running back. Up back for Lindsay Wilson. 4th down and 1. 6 men on the LOS. And Reinhardt showing pressure. Holloway goes nowhere. Kamari Poindexter all over him. Kamari Poindexter on the stop. The Reinhardt Eagles stuff Lindsay Wilson on that 4th and short. Turnover on downs. Reinhardt's offense will take it back over. Scores 52-0, Lindsay Wilson. Reinhardt's offense will go back on the field. We'll see how long they'll elect to really go with their main guys offensively. And I said it before, you want to try to build some habits and build some momentum for your team at this stage. You don't want to just throw in the towel, so to speak. Stephen Craig remains in the ball game for the Eagles. He hands this one off to Isaiah Payton. Payton running on the outside, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue jerseys just swarming him. This Lindsay Wilson defense from top to bottom. Every player who has entered the fray has really kept that same demeanor. Those guys are just all over the field. It seems like they're playing with 15 men defensively. Reinhardt Eagle group, their identity has been running the football. That has been what Reinhardt has done since Coach James Miller took over as the head man for the Eagles. But that rushing attack just has not been there for the Eagles in this game. 54 rushing yards. Craig dropping back, throwing to Isaiah Payton. Payton with it, but Payton brought down quick, fast, and in a hurry. He loses about 3. So Isaiah Payton loses 3 yards, under 5 minutes remaining. 3rd down and 11 coming up. And Lindsay Wilson, the difference night and day in the way that they've been able to slow down Reinhardt's rush attack. The Eagles 265 yards on the ground against Lindsay Wilson last year. This season, 66. 3rd and 11 coming up for the Eagles. Stephen Craig dropping back to pass. Lindsay Wilson blitzes. Pass is complete down the field for Reinhardt. The pass is complete for the first down. Marquise Wilson on the reception. So that gets the Eagles into Blue Raider territory. They're now at the 44-yard line. Under 4 minutes remaining. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Harlem Diamond and Stephen Craig in the backfield. Handoff is faked. Stephen Craig pulls it. Craig running on the outside. Makes a move. Jukes and falls down across the line to gain. He has the first down. This here, the best drive the Eagles have had since that first drive of the ball game. They are back in Lindsay Wilson territory at the 32-yard line, threatening to puncture that scoreboard for the first time tonight. Stephen Craig dropping back to pass, looking, throwing, almost intercepted. Instead, it will just fall incomplete. Jaden Walker, the defensive back from Grayton, Florida, almost coming away with that pick. Instead, the ball falls harmlessly to the ground. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Eagles. Lindsay Wilson, they're going to be kicking themselves, those DBs, after this game. They had some near falls, some near interceptions on a few different occasions. The toss sweep to Harlem Diamond. Diamond on the outside. Diamond makes a move. If he would have stayed in bounds, he would have had a lot of room to run. Instead, he goes out after a nice gain of 15 yards. First down, Reinhardt. Eagles in business at the 17. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Reinhardt lost a lot offensively. Starting quarterback Taylor Jackson, their 2 leading running backs, and Jock Colbert and Jamarion Walker. Also an All-American offensive lineman in Zach Lyle. Stephen Craig dropping back to pass. Looking, throwing down the field. Is it caught? No, it is not. It goes incomplete. That was a great attempt at it by Braden Bohannon. He just could not come down with it. Incomplete pass. Stephen Craig intended for Bohannon. 2nd and 10. But Zach Lyle, one of those great players that Reinhardt lost from last season. Also Ben Hollers. Ben Hollers was offensive lineman. He's no longer with the team as well. Losing so much talent. Reinhardt trying to find something. Peyton brought down to the ground. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Reinhardt Eagles. Now 2 minutes remaining here in the 3rd. Xavier Walker, the tight end, re-enters the fray. Isaiah Payton back in at running back for the Eagles. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Marquise Wilson all alone on the right side. Stephen Craig tosses it to Payton. Payton behind the lead blocker, but cannot escape the grasp of the Blue Raiders. Those outside runs just not producing much for Reinhardt because Lindsay Wilson sideline to sideline as fast as any defense in the country. So 4th down and 4 coming up. Coach Miller's going to call on the field goal unit and All-American kicker Alex Hansen. Hansen was nearly perfect inside the 20 last year. One of the best field goal kickers in the country. The kick is up, and it is good for Alex Hansen. So Hansen picks up right where he left off last season, and the Eagles get on the board 52-3. Reinhardt finally producing some points.
Real ID. Because in order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID, or you'll need another acceptable form of identification. So don't wait. Find out how to get your real ID at tsa.gov/real ID. That's tsa.gov/real ID. or visit your local DMV. And then you'll be cleared for takeoff.
Hello, I'm Kevin, President of the Dementia Society of America. Request our free guide. It includes information on brain health checkups.
How can you measure the value of education-based athletics? Well, the value is in what makes it invaluable. That's because school sports aren't just about winning.
Welcome back to Parnell Family Stadium. This presentation of NAIA football here live on SCSN. The Reinhardt down big against Lindsay Wilson. We have some self-inflicted wounds here from Lindsay Wilson. Back deep to receive that kick for the Blue Raiders was Malik Hicks, who had that touchdown deep down the field. The ball bounces off of his chest and out of bounds. So Lindsay Wilson will begin their next drive at the 3. That just gives Coach Kleckler something to say. Lindsay Wilson, two foes very familiar with each other. This has been a rivalry over the years. The last 3 matchups, just absolute doozies. The last 2, one of those being a playoff game where Reinhardt went on the road at Lindsay Wilson in 2022. The 9th-ranked Eagles fell 23-22 in a game that they were down by 23 points entering the 4th quarter. Reinhardt battled all the way back and nearly came away with a win. Inside handoff for Lindsay Wilson, almost a safety. Byron Kirkland-Lundy just escaping the shadow of his own end zone. 50 seconds remaining, but Reinhardt, they were down big 23-0 in that 4th quarter. They battled all the way back, came up just short 23-22. And then last season, the top 10 ranked Lindsay Wilson group came into University Stadium at Ken White Field, and they were down against Reinhardt big. The script seemed primed to flip between these two squads. Lindsay Wilson used a second-half rally to down the Eagles in that one. This game, a lot less fireworks here between these two squads as Pryor Lamb drops back, throws an incompletion, 3rd down and 11 coming up. But this game, a lot less fireworks between the two squads and kind of unexpected when you talk about the rivalry between them as well as the talent between them. Reinhardt replacing a ton of talent on both sides of the football. Lindsay Wilson, the team with a lot more continuity, and you see that really showcasing itself in this game. Lindsay Wilson, they have not been very afraid. They have not seemed like deer in headlights. They are very much on top of it. Inside handoff for Lindsay Wilson, goes for about a gain of 4, and that will end our 3rd quarter. Entering the 4th, Lindsay Wilson dominating Reinhardt. It's 52-3. This is a presentation of NAIA football here live on SCSN.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports. This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Looking for something fun for the whole family? Chattanooga FC has you, where fans of all ages can come together and be part of something special. From the first whistle to the final moment, there's always something happening. Make it a night to remember with Chattanooga FC. ChattanoogaFC.com.
Almost set to resume play here at Parnell Family Stadium. Lindsay Wilson and Reinhardt doing battle. The 6th ranked down in 6. Coming up, they're going to have to punt this one away. Tucker Swindler in the shadow of his own end zone gets the snap. Punt is away, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what the call will be. No, before the flag, we have a timeout for Reinhardt. So timeout Reinhardt, 4th down and 6. Lindsay Wilson set to punt this one away, and that will give us an opportunity to look at our score summary in this ball game. The scoring got started with points. Lindsay Wilson used that to their advantage. They were able to strike first against the Eagles. Boom, boom, right down the field. Tay Saunders finished it off with a touchdown, a 2-yard score. From there, it was just all Lindsay Wilson. A Tate Rice deep completion to Max Gainey. Gainey and Rice hooking up again in that second quarter as well on 2 separate occasions before Tay Saunders was able to get into the end zone for a 51-yard score and then a 2-yard score as well. And that set us up to where we are now here after another touchdown in the third quarter. That one from Pryor Lamb to Malik Hicks, which gave Lindsay Wilson their 51st point. The extra point gave them point number 52. So a dominant performance from Lindsay Wilson. It's 52-3. We have a man down on the field. It is a member of the Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders. Not something you want to see the trainers tending to him. So we're unlikely to see some of those better players for Lindsay Wilson anymore in this game. We probably won't see much of Tate Rice and Tay Saunders and Max Gainey. They were able to do their damage exclusively in the first half. Tate Rice, his day will end 11 of 16, 181 yards and 3 scores. Max Gainey, 5 receptions, 158 yards and 3 touchdowns in his own right. Tay Saunders, 10 for 177 and 3 scores. So Reinhardt's offense will trot back onto the field. At quarterback, entering for the Eagles is Armar Gordon, number 17. Man coming in motion. Gordon keeps it for himself, but then he immediately gets brought down to the ground. That Lindsay Wilson defense, now the twos are in the game, but they're flying around as well. Armar Gordon had 0 room to run. Cameron Bonner was the first to him. Bonner, the defensive back from Center Point, Alabama. 11 coming up for the Reinhardt Eagles. It's Armar Gordon and Isaiah Payton in the backfield. Xavier Walker, the tight end, in at up back, flex to the right side. 2 receivers on the left. Austin Davis on the left side. Pass outside to Isaiah Payton. Payton with it and gets driven out of bounds at the 44. So a 3-yard gain for Isaiah Payton. That puts us under that 14-minute mark. 13 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. That clock will continue to roll here with the Eagles down big, 52-3. Lindsay Wilson going with another big group substitution. Armar Gordon receiving the orders from his offensive coordinator, Tyler Hennis. Xavier Walker will switch sides of the line. He's now on the left. 2 receivers to the left for the Eagles with 1 receiver flexed out wide to the right. Gordon dropping back to pass. Swing pass to Isaiah Payton. And Payton stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Lifted off his feet. Troy Churchill's yelling at the crowd. Everyone is just feeling it for Lindsay Wilson. That's going to be a flag. You can't lift anyone off their feet. That'll probably be unnecessary roughness. We'll get the official wording from the officials. It's just been that type of game for Reinhardt. Armar Gordon threw it quickly to Isaiah Payton. Payton just immediately stuffed. Flag gets waved off. Seems like it was another procedural penalty on the Eagles. This one not stopping the play. The Eagles running the play, not getting anything there. Lindsay Wilson declines the penalty. It will be 4th down and 11 for Reinhardt. Alex Hansen back out to punt it away. Reinhardt playing in that Appalachian Athletic Conference, somewhere that they have dominated for years and years. The Eagles winning another conference title, their 10th consecutive conference titles. This was a booming punt by Alex Hansen. Continues to roll, takes a Reinhardt bounce, and is down at the 2-yard line. So Alex Hansen showing off that All-American leg of his. But Reinhardt, winning a 10th consecutive conference title last year, that Appalachian Athletic Conference, it has begun to feature some teams that are starting to step up and challenge Reinhardt for the throne. The Eagles shared the conference title with the University of Pikeville in 2024, setting up a championship game with Pikeville last year. Last game of the season, Reinhardt beat University of Pikeville by over 40 points in that championship game. But UPike bringing in one of the more lauded transfer classes in the NAIA. They're a team that's receiving votes currently in the top 25 from the coaches poll among Appalachian Athletic Conference teams. Reinhardt actually finishing second in that preseason poll. Pikeville picked by the coaches to win the conference. Snap coming, handoff to Donovan Holloway, who gets brought down after a short gain. Reinhardt, they're going to have something to answer for in that Appalachian. Pikeville, they figure to be a contender for it. Kentucky Christian as well. Kentucky Christian gave Reinhardt everything they could handle and more in their matchup last year at Grayson, Kentucky. Eagles going on the road. The Knights very nearly pulling off what would have been one of the bigger upsets in AAC history. They fell just short, 38-35, after Alex Hansen kicked the game-winning field goal. 2nd and 7 coming up. Eagles showing blitz. Fake handoff by Pryor Lamb. This pass outside and incomplete. So that pass falls incomplete. 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders. 11 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. After Reinhardt's first drive, you felt that energy in the stadium, that it was going to be one of those real tough games, one of those barn burners that we're used to these two teams having, but it just hasn't gone that way. Handoff to the right side. Holloway gets brought down by a flock of Reinhardt Eagles, just barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 4th down and almost certainly a punt coming up for Lindsay Wilson. So Reinhardt's going to have a lot to answer for in that Mid-South, in that Appalachian Athletic Conference. Lindsay Wilson hailing from the Mid-South, rather. And we already know about the toughness of playing in the Mid-South Conference. Lindsay Wilson, they understand what that means as well. They're a team that is used to playing in that conference, used to contending in that conference. As that punt goes away, it's a deep punt. It's going to be down at around the 47. That's where Reinhardt begins their next drive. But Lindsay Wilson, they're used to the challenge that the Mid-South presents. And it's going to be a challenge again. We spoke about that Campbellsville game. That's their Mid-South opener, a home matchup. They'll also host Georgetown, who's ranked 20th in the top 25 currently, on the road at Cumberland in Tennessee, University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. So that's going to be a very interesting slate for them, one of the more difficult schedules in the entire country. Armar Gordon, again, faking the handoff, keeps it for himself, runs up the middle, and gets a 1st down. So Armar Gordon showing in his first action as a Reinhardt Eagle. Another man coming in motion. Gordon takes it for himself again, jumps over a defender before falling to the ground at the 33. So some excitement, a shot in the arm, if you will, from Armar Gordon. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Reinhardt Eagles. 3 receivers on the field, and they're in a nasty split out to the left side. Curtis, Wilson, and Brantley in the game with Amir Williams. Amir Williams from Burke County in at running back. Handoff goes to Amir Williams off tackle on the right side. Amir Williams has the 1st down, breaks a tackle, running right behind Reinhardt's returning first-team all-conference lineman in Jaden Calhoun. Calhoun clearing the path for the Reinhardt Eagles now, and his 4th season as a member of the Eagles, his senior year, his 3rd season as a starting tackle for Reinhardt. A player with some All-American aspirations. Gordon takes the snap. Direct snap. Handoff. Goes for a gain of about 4. 9 minutes remaining in this one. Lindsay Wilson, 52. Reinhardt, 3. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Eagles. It has just been all Lindsay Wilson, but in this second half, Reinhardt, they found ways to move the football, trying to punch one into the end zone for the first time today. Williams and Gordon once more in the backfield. Man coming in motion. Gordon keeps it for himself yet again. Gordon thrown to the ground, spun around, and falls down at the 15. So the line hustling to the LOS. 3rd down and 1 coming up. Gordon using his legs a lot on this drive, and he'll do so once more, but gets thrown down. Who's that there? That's going to be Jamarcus Frank. Frank on the stop, but Gordon has just enough for the 1st down. Armar Gordon was trying to be patient on that one, trying to find himself some room, and he does so. 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the 14-yard line. 2 receivers flexed out on the left side, 1 receiver to the right. Under 8 minutes now. Williams still in at running back. Lindsay Wilson showing blitz here on this play. Armar Gordon takes the snap, drops back to pass, swing pass to Amir Williams. Williams shakes off a defender. Williams cuts it back inside before he gets driven. Amir Williams. Williams, one of those players that Reinhardt's coaching staff very excited about what he can do this year. This will be his first real action in a Reinhardt uniform. Didn't see the field much last year, but figures to be a piece to their puzzle this season. 2nd and 3. Handoff goes to Williams. Williams cuts it back inside, has the 1st down, still on his feet. Almost muscling into the end zone was Amir Williams. He gets brought down at the 1-yard line. Best chance the Eagles have had to put a touchdown on the board all day. So this Reinhardt offense at the 1-yard line. 1st down and goal. Man in motion. Xavier Brantley gets the handoff. Brantley gets to the pylon. Touchdown, Reinhardt. Reinhardt scoring for the 1st time today. It was a handoff from Gordon to Xavier Brantley, and that's the danger of having Armar Gordon on the field. It's those defensive ends, they can't just predict that it's going to go one way or another. You can't give all your attention to the jet motion guy, but you also don't want to just stay in one spot and allow him to get that edge. Xavier Brantley using that to his benefit there, getting the touchdown, and Alex Hansen with the extra point. 52-10 is your score. Lindsay Wilson on top with 6 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. But that was a nice drive from Ryan. Momentum for this Eagle offense. They haven't been able to find much, but Armar Gordon, solid drive there. He did much of the damage on the ground. Overall in this game, Gordon is now up to 8 carries and 30 yards. The 2 quarterbacks have been the leading rushers for Reinhardt in this game. Stephen Craig, 11 attempts for 52 yards. Armar Gordon, 8 attempts for 30 yards. So those have been the guys leading the way on this rushing attack for the Eagles. That's usually not a recipe for success for Reinhardt. The running game just has not been the way that we're used to seeing from the Eagles in this one. A lot of that credit needs to go to Lindsay Wilson and how they really made it a point to slow down this Reinhardt rushing attack. And we're not used to seeing them slow down this much. 38 carries, 141 yards as a group, a 3.7 yards per carry average. Lindsay Wilson, they've been dominant through the air and on the ground. 252 yards through the air. Also on their rushing attack, 243. So almost an even split of yards for Lindsay Wilson with 6 minutes and 39 seconds remaining here from Parnell Family Stadium. It's been all Blue Raiders, 52-10. You can tell Lindsay Wilson came out looking to make a statement here in week 0, and they've done just that. A team that's ranked number 6, and I'll say I thought was a little bit low coming into this year. And that's not to say that the teams ranked above them don't deserve their place. I'm just saying that when you look at what Lindsay Wilson is bringing back this year, I don't know if a lot of teams can really compare to that. Just that level of returning production and marquee returning production at that. A Tate Rice, a Tay Saunders, just so many different guys who are so great for them. As Reinhardt picks up the TFL, Vashawn Moody on the stop. But just so many different guys. Max Gainey, another one, who were big pieces to the puzzle for them in their return to the NAIA postseason last year. And they have championship aspirations this season, showing you just why. 2nd and 12, ball on the right hash. Prior Lamb remains in the game. Lindsay Wilson, they're going to try to take the air out of this one and really run that clock all the way down before snapping the football. Hollowell in the backfield with Prior Lamb. Handoff will go to Holloway. He's snowed under immediately by Cooper Negron. Cooper Negron with the stop. Negron, the alum of North Cobb High School, one of the best high school programs in the state of Georgia. Cooper Negron was a top 5 tackler in his class, was a senior leader for his team, all-state selection as well. He comes up with the stop. 3rd down and 15 coming up for Lindsay Wilson. And again, just letting that clock tick down. How about Prior Lamb? He was the starter last year, was going to be in a timeshare with Tate Rice, now the backup quarterback, but a quarterback that a lot of teams would take on their roster. Lamb hands it off to Holloway. Holloway breaks the tackle. Now he's running outside, but he cannot escape the grasp of Vashawn Moody. Moody with the tackle. Vashawn Moody, a transfer for Reinhardt from Georgia Military Academy. Moody, originally from Columbus, Georgia, and also formerly from Spencer High School. 4th down and 14 coming up. Lindsay Wilson now entering that 4-minute mark here in the 4th quarter. As the Blue Raiders try to put the finishing touches on a big-time non-conference victory against a top 25 opponent. Back deep to receive Cam Curtis. He has it and takes it with the fair catch. 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Curtis's fair catch is going to be called at the 47-yard line. That's where Reinhardt will begin this next drive. For the Eagles, you would like to see Armar Gordon continue to take steps in comfortability here in this Reinhardt offense. A lot of season left to play, but from what you could tell in the way that Reinhardt called their game, the way that Coach Tyler Hennis approached this one, he's not going to be shy with using both Craig and Gordon. Gordon in his first season as an Eagle. So the handoff goes. Gordon keeps it for himself, makes a man miss, still on his feet, breaks a tackle at the 40, at the 35 before getting thrown down to the ground near that 35-yard line. Armar Gordon is a rare athlete, and you're seeing that here. He picks up the first down with his legs. First down for Armar Gordon. Amir Williams in the backfield. Also Robert Jones, a split back formation for the Reinhardt Eagles. Armar Gordon rolls to his right, throws it, but cannot find Marquise Wilson down the field. 2nd and 10 coming up, 3 minutes and 31 seconds remaining. Armar Gordon The dual threat quarterback. He has provided some nice momentum for this Reinhardt offense in a game where it really hasn't been much. It's been tough sledding for them overall. Gordon, quick pass to Damani Taylor. Taylor with it. Taylor brought down at the 30. So we're approaching 3 minutes remaining. 3rd down and 5 after that quick catch and run from Damani Taylor. 3rd and 5, 3 minutes remaining. Robert Jones in the backfield with Armar Gordon. Low snap, Gordon having to hit the deck to get it. So Armar Gordon was able to retrieve that low snap, but he had to hit the ground to scoop it up. That's going to be a loss of 5, 4th down and 10 for the Reinhardt Eagles. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this ball game. That takes some of that momentum that Gordon spent some time building up. First real 4th and long situation for him that he's had to see really behind the sticks for the first time in his shift. Gordon dropping back to pass, delivers a pass, and it's caught. It's complete and a touchdown, Xavier Brantley. Brantley, his 2nd touchdown of the day. Armar Gordon, that sidearm delivery in the slot to Brantley. Brantley doing the rest of the work. Touchdown, Eagles. 52-16, pending the Alex Hansen extra point attempt. Touchdown, Brantley, with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. Brantley, 1 score on the ground, 1 through the air. Awaiting Hansen's kick, the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good for the Eagles. 52-17, Reinhardt posting 2 scores here in this 4th quarter. Eagles trailing big, but building some momentum. Lindsay Wilson, meanwhile, you're just thinking, let's get out of this game without any injuries. Let's try to give ourselves a shot to be as fresh as possible for their matchup next Saturday. Talked about that Lindsay Wilson schedule. It's going to be a long season. They'll be back at home against Ave Maria out of that Sun Conference. Speaking of the Sun Conference, a few different teams figure to have something to say about the crown, trying to take it from Kaiser University. Kaiser, they've won, I believe, 6 consecutive Sun Conference titles. The Seahawks of Kaiser down there in West Palm Beach made yet another appearance in the NAIA championship, their 4th consecutive championship appearance. They fell short in a rematch against Grandview, who's your defending NAIA champions. Grandview coming off of a back-to-back. They're looking to make it 3 in a row, and they're back atop the top 25 for the preseason poll as well. They're going to be replacing a lot of talent. The National Player of the Year no longer resides in Grandview as well, so they're going to have to figure some things out. We'll see what they can do to start the year. And right now, without having seen any other game, this is the only NAIA game that I've had the pleasure of seeing. This is one of the first NAIA games of the year for week 0. It's going to be hard to see a team with more talent than this Lindsay Wilson group. This is a team that has as much talent as anyone in the country, and they have top-end talent as well. According to the Victory Sports Network, 4 of the top 100 players in the country reside in Columbia, Kentucky. Tate Rice at quarterback, Max Gainey, the receiver, Tate Saunders at running back, and also Larry Montgomery, the stellar offensive lineman. So with all that talent at their disposal, as well as the other guys who I didn't even name, you have to feel like they're going to have a chance to do anything they could do. Popped up, ball is loose. Reinhardt recovers it. Reinhardt recovering the fumble. Fumbling for Lindsay Wilson. Backup running back Hunter Hewlin, the freshman from Cornersville, Tennessee. Well, welcome to college football, Hunter. That one popped free Eagles retrieve it. So Reinhardt deep in Lindsay Wilson territory to start a drive for the first time tonight. First down and 10 with 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. They'll likely be able to run just one play before the 2-minute warning. So what's coming up? Armar Gordon remaining in the game. Amir Williams back in the game. And we'll have a timeout here by Coach Phil Kleckler. Coach Kleckler and his defense, he didn't seem to be on the same page. He calls a timeout, and they'll try to get themselves back going. 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. This is what you want to see, though, from Reinhardt if you're Coach James Miller and staff. You want to see who's going to continue to fight. There's still football left to play. You got to play until there's 000s on the clock. And even if you're taking out some of your presumed starters and you're rolling in with a few of your younger players, you want to see if they can give you something that they can build on. If they can show themselves to be players that you can rely on as the season continues. As both teams come back to the field, I will say Armar Gordon is really proving to be someone that could potentially be a piece for Reinhardt. Came in a few packages, now seeing some extended time here in the fourth quarter. He looks to slot in nicely as a nice compliment to Stephen Craig. Handoff to Amir Williams up the middle. Williams driven down to the ground after that initial surge. Gain of 5 by Amir Williams brings up the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 52-17 is your score. Lindsay Wilson on top. Number 6 on top of number 23. 2-minute warning coming up. Lindsay Wilson just looking to, again, put the finishing touches on a dominant victory at home in front of their home crowd. A blowout here in Columbia. Lindsay Wilson rocking with those blue uniforms and black pants. Reinhardt came out with their icy white uniform wearing all white. But it's just been all Lindsay Wilson here today, folks. And it's unfortunate for the Reinhardt Eagles. Came in with a ton of promise, a ton of momentum after that initial drive. The way that last season ended for the Eagles, you felt like the arrow was pointing up for them. And it's just not gone that way here at Parnell Family Stadium. 2nd and 6 coming up for Reinhardt. Gordon and Williams in the backfield. Damani Taylor coming in motion. Handoff goes to Amir Williams. He fakes the handoff, throws a touchdown. Touchdown strike to Xavier Walker. Xavier Walker, big number 8 on the score. Armar Gordon is operating very nicely for this Reinhardt offense. 3rd touchdown of the fourth quarter for the Eagles. Reinhardt starting to build up some momentum on the offensive side of the football. Armar Gordon coming in place of Stephen Craig and leading 3 offensive drives. He does it in a unique way, as we'll have some movement up front. We'll see what the call will be. It will be a false start on the Eagles. But he does it in a unique way. Uses his legs very well. Very athletic quarterback for the Reinhardt Eagles. But he gets the job done, moving Reinhardt straight down the field on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 straight touchdowns. 52-23, pending Alex Hansen extra point that gets moved back 5. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good for Alex Hansen. 52-24, but I fear it's all cosmetic at this point. Reinhardt almost surely going to lose this one. They're going to go down in their opener. Lindsay Wilson's 2nd consecutive home opening victory against a ranked opponent. I'm going to be looking ahead for Lindsay Wilson, and I'm looking forward to that matchup they have at that has a much lauded trot that looks a little bit different from at their disposal. A lot of different guys that are going to be capable of stepping up for them. we'll see how the early stages of the season goes for those guys, but I figured that this is a game that could potentially be a top 10 matchup if things break right for St. Thomas in the early stages of the season. Alex Hansen getting ready to kick this one off. 1 minute and 55 seconds left. Lindsay Wilson, they want to just sit on this one, and they're hoping to take off the rest of the clock. That fumble from Hewlin definitely not helping their cause. That's what allowed first carry. Playing high school football, my very first varsity snap was a false start. So anticlimactic starts always happen to the best of us. It's all good. There's a long way to go in his career. I'm sure he'll be a very fine player for Lindsay Wilson as well. Now back in the ball game for Lindsay Wilson at running back, number 22, Donovan Holloway. And maybe we'll see a knee here from Prior Limb. Victory formation for Lindsay Wilson. They're just going to end this one. As dominant a win as I've seen. 52-24 is the final. But Lindsay Wilson, they scored the first 52 of this game. Just all over Reinhardt. They were up 45-0 at half. Between the first 2 quarters of this game and the last 2 quarters of the last matchup that these two teams had, Lindsay Wilson just found something against the Eagles, and the Eagles just were not able to find anything to stop it. 66-3 across those 4 quarters. (52-24), now approaching that 50-second mark. It's likely going to be all she wrote after one last kneel down coming up for Prior Lamb. Again, Lindsay Wilson, their next game is going to be at home against Ave Maria, September the 5th, next Saturday at 7 p.m. under the lights. Reinhardt, their next matchup on the road against Newberry College, the 15th ranked Division II team in the country. So we have a stoppage of play here with 21 seconds remaining on the clock. Officials having a conversation. May have gotten a timeout here from Coach Miller. Wanted to give his group a few more snaps, I would presume. Fourth down and 13 coming up. They're going to punt this one away, awaiting the punt team coming back onto the field. Armar Gordon came in, led 3 consecutive offensive touchdowns. 2 of those coming courtesy of him through the air. One to Xavier Brantley, and then another one to Xavier Walker. So Armar Gordon in the 4th quarter giving himself and this team something to work with moving forward. Punt is away. Cam Curtis with it, takes the fair catch at the 41. Fair caught at the 41-yard line, 14 seconds remaining. Gordon in limited action, 5 of 6, 53 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, and then on the ground, 10 carries and 41 yards. Xavier Brantley with 2 receptions from Gordon, 44 yards, and that score. Xavier Walker added the 10-yard receiving score as well. So 52-24 is your score. We'll see what Reinhardt decides to do here with the remaining 14 seconds of this game, and it's going to be a trips formation on the right side. 1 receiver to the left. Gordon dropping back to pass, looking, he's under pressure, and the ball is loose. The ball is loose. Reinhardt has it. Gordon Lee Stadium. 52-24 is your final score. Number 6, Lindsay Wilson a dominant performance against number 23 Reinhardt. Thank you all for joining us for this presentation of NAI Football here live.